Right. I was worried I'd have issues like I did last week where I had to refresh it because it said going live, going live, going live for like 2 minutes. So let's it's Friday again. I can't believe how quick these weeks are going by. This is crazy. Got my spectacles on this time. So I see we have 9 people here so far. 10 people. Okay. I'm gonna try to give it like a minute or so for people to tune in. Right after this, I'm probably gonna hop back on Sims. Hey guys, Katie Allen, Caitlin Booth, Pamela Hobbs, Shanza Bubbles, Ty Cameron, Nicole Neer, Jackie Nielsen, Eva D, Shukim, Tanya Ramirez, Daydreaming. All right, we got people popping in. Thank you guys. Oh, this still feels so weird because this is what, like the 11th one? 11 consecutive Fridays. And for some reason, people still want to hear me speak. I don't get it. I will never understand. But I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful. G Suanam Jesus, Gladys Kamani, Nicole Meir, Nija Duckett, Nia G, Hester M. Hazes. Yeah. Yeah, I just felt like seeing a little bit better today, so I just put on my glasses. I need to get some new ones though, because these are the same ones I actually got in early 2018 in Myeongdong. Because that's one thing they don't tell you about Korea is it's so much more affordable for like eye care and things. I literally just went, took a free eye test for my prescription, and glasses were made there on the spot. Well, I could choose the frame, and then it was made. I didn't have to come back to pick them up. It was right there. All right, so let's start with some questions. Tea sipper? Zuri, the official tea sipper. I like that name. GL, that's an interesting question. Would a half white and half Korean kid get bullied in school? Usually, which is weird because you would think, first, in Korea, white people are like ideal types of foreigners. Like they prefer whiter foreigners, blue eyes, blonde hair and stuff. But I've even heard of stories from idols who were biracial, half white, half Korean, saying how difficult it was for them growing up. So unfortunately, I do think if you're not like pure Korean, people will point out like, why do you look like this? Why is that the way it is? And I've never had any biracial students, but even the kids who were tanned or looked a little different were teased for whatever reason. So it's a sad world. My ring light is, there we go. Nope, that didn't help much. Okay. Aladdin or Aladdin? So you get copyright because of the music. Sometimes, here's the thing that's so annoying with YouTube. I love it, but it's very difficult because I could literally play like 5 seconds of a song in my video, and the whole video is like if there's ads on it, it goes to them. It's crazy. I could say I'm vlogging outside somewhere. I'm just vlogging. A shop is playing a song. If it's audible for like 5, 8, 10 seconds, I no longer can make money from that. It belongs to whoever they picked up, which is for the clubbing in Korea video I did when I just vlogged about how we went to Hongdae, Gangnam, and Itaewon. I was in Hongdae and some song was playing in the background while I was talking to my friend Bria. I didn't know what the song was, and I went to edit it later, and it told me that, oh, copyright strike. And I was like, wait, what? So I had to go back and short it out or cut out the audio. It's really, really annoying. Sam, what's your opinion on traveling during the virus? I mean, I don't think it's a good idea. It's annoying that it's being dragged out for so long. Like, sorry, my bangs are being weird. You know how for the longest, especially as an American, people have kind of looked at the American passport as like the golden ticket where you have a visa. And now no country wants us visiting because we can't seem to get this mess under control, which is so embarrassing. I was just up last night thinking about how it's going to be embarrassing to start traveling again as a foreigner because people are going to be like, you're American, y'all over 4 million, approaching 5 million cases in America alone of this virus. It's embarrassing. Like even before when I was in the airports and Trump was on the news and I would like flip my passport down and be like, I'm Canadian, eh? I didn't even want to be identified as American back then. It's ridiculous. I don't think it's a good idea to travel. That's why I'm waiting, hoping it dies down before I go back to Korea, but it's literally getting worse and worse and worse. I'm the W. When you first came to Korea, were you living in a hotel? When I first came to Korea, we were picked up and taken to a university for orientation, which lasted 2 weeks. So I wasn't in a hotel. I was in a dorm room. It was, college though, but I was in the dorm room. It was literally a very tiny room where it was like two single beds. We each had like a station desk sort of thing. It was a very tiny room. We shared a very tiny bathroom together. And we were there for 2 weeks. And then I was in a unique situation with two other people who were teaching in Jeju where our apartments weren't ready. So after we moved to Jeju for like the first 4 days, I did have to live in a hotel, but I didn't have to cover that. The government or the program or whatever, they covered it. But most of my friends who moved to Jeju were able to move right into their apartment. But a few of us, our apartments weren't cleaned and ready and moved out yet. So we did have to live in a hotel for a few days. But usually you'll probably have orientation at a university. Um, Not Livy, not Levy, not Livy. I'm gonna go with not Livy. Can you tell us how you learned Korean? Well, I am not fluent, but I started to get interested in learning back in 2014. So after watching a bunch of dramas and like actually honestly it mainly started with variety shows, Korean variety shows like Running Man, and the popping text on the screen is a good way to help you practice and learn it, and you start to hear phrases over and over again. I think one of the first Korean words I learned was chukale or micho, micho so, like are you crazy, do you want to die? Not a good first word, but that was watching Running Man got me into it. And then there are a ton of apps that are free and very easy to use that teach you Hangul, which is the easiest writing system I think there is to learn because there's only like 29 characters and a lot of them are very rarely used. So learning to read Hangul is obviously first, but it's very, very easy. I would say though that sentence making is a little more difficult. Memrise helped me get familiar with that. And this website that I used to use that was free that came with Memrise was promoted on this website. It was called, hold on, let me see. I think it was like Teach Me Korean or howtostudykorean.com. This is my absolute favorite website. It's completely free. I wish they would sponsor me because of how often I'm promoting this, but it's a completely free app, howtostudykorean.com. It teaches you sentence structure. You can practice listening to stuff. You can practice typing stuff, understanding stuff, vocab. Great. It's really, really great. um, Daija Duckett, how did you become a teacher in Korea? Well, I applied to the talk program in 2016, the end of 2016 on Jimin's birthday. That's when they announced that they were doing it again. And I had to send in a copy of my transcripts because in the talk program, you're allowed to do it as a university student. I sent in the recommendation letters. I needed two. I had my passport. You had to get a copy of that. Had to have a little picture to put on the application, which is really annoying. In Korea, job applications, you need a picture of yourself on your application. I had to go to the embassy a few times. I had to submit a lesson plan, like a mock lesson plan. I had like one in-person interview in New York at like a consulate, and then I had a Skype interview. And then a week later, I was shipped out to Korea through the talk program. And I stayed for 2 years. Neoji, I learned Hangul in 10 minutes. Yeah, it's really, really easy. I was just like, because in my mind, I was thinking it'd be as difficult as like Japanese or who has like three writing systems or Chinese, there's Mandarin and there's Cantonese and all those kanji symbols. I was like, I'm not going to be able to learn these languages, but Korean is so easy. It's probably the easiest writing system to learn of all Asian languages. I've looked at Khmer and Thai writing. I couldn't do it, but um, Lorenta Igehon, have you ever experienced racism in Korea? Personally, no, I have not. I haven't really experienced any sort of looking at me like, or like no black people, no foreigners. I've never personally experienced that, but I have heard stories and I have had friends who definitely went through that. I think the worst was when one of my friends, She was teaching in Gangwon-do, in a neighborhood or a town, city, Gangneung. And she thought her kids came up with a cute Korean nickname for her. They called her Kamdungi, which is like their equivalent of the N-word. Koreans will disagree sometimes. I've heard from Koreans that it means that, and I've heard from Koreans it doesn't mean that. But one thing that was funny is I was watching a Netflix show with Korean subtitles. It was in English, and they were saying the N-word, and the Korean subtitles say Kamdungi. So her little kids, her elementary school kids were calling her that, and she thought it was something cute. And she found out it wasn't. When one of our friends was like, that's not a good term. And she's like, what do you mean? Even the teachers who heard it would just laugh. They wouldn't say, hey, don't say that. They'd be like, hoo, hoo, hoo. So that was messed up. But I've never personally experienced racism. Rosalia X, did you ever go to a concert in Korea? And if yes, how was it? Well, I've gone to not like a form. Well, I guess it was a concert. So I've gone to a few. The first person I ever saw live and in person in Korea was Crush. He came to Jeju National University and he killed it. After seeing him sing live, I was like, I think I like this dude because I knew his songs, especially since in 2017, or the end of 2016, end of 2017, Dokebi was like the most popular drama in his song, Beautiful Life, Beautiful Day. So I knew him, but I wasn't in Bermuda Triangle with him and Zico and Dean. So I knew of him, but I was never really like a Crush fan until I saw him perform live. Changed my life. He is a dope singer. And I was actually thinking about making this a story time in the future, talking about the first like concert I actually had to go to, which was when I went to see Dean. And well, it was not just Dean. It was DPR Live. Jay Park was there. Hayes or Hayes, I'm not sure how you pronounce the name, and a bunch of like lesser known underground Korean R&B artists. And I remember I was in Jeju and I was my flight was at 7:55 a.m. I overslept until 7:28 and made it somehow in time to be on my flight. And I was thinking about making that a story time. So that's a concert I attended. I saw GOT7 live. I saw Mamamoo. And that's pretty much it. I'm not really a concert person because I don't like crowds. I just like to be in my own introvert bubble. Other people screaming and doing the most would just annoy me. So I'm not really a concert fan per se. Wow, I didn't realize how many moderators I had. Oh, by the way, I think at about 30 minutes into the video, I'm gonna make a little announcement. I don't want to have it be too late because I know it's probably like midnight for some people or 1 a.m. for some people. And I also don't want to drag it out or start too early because some people might not be all here yet. I'm hoping it's something that you guys will be interested in. We will see. But yeah, all right, let's get back to the comments. Self-taught, do you plan to go to Korea again? Absolutely. I just don't know when it's safe to go. Most countries don't want us right now, and I don't blame them. So as soon as it's safe, I plan to go back. Like I want to try to go back in like September, October, honestly, but not for good. I do want to visit for like a month or two, but I need to get my booty back in America so I can vote in November 3rd. We got to vote. Oh my gosh. Like we have less than 100 days left until this Cheeto can be voted out of office, and we need to get the Senate blue again. So yeah, I'm only going to go for like a month or two, but I will be back by November 3rd to vote. Muffin, second time's the charm, I guess. In terms of traveling, what was your favorite city to visit in Korea? That is always a hard. I like Busan a lot. It was very pretty. It was a very pretty city. I remember we went to this. Well, I can't remember what it was called. It's like this mariner place where like it's right on the water and like these tall condos are like lit up at night and it's so pretty to take pictures. And I could see the bridge that Black Panther drove down, so I was all excited. The mountains and the fog and the beach. Busan is gorgeous. I like Busan a lot, but I also really liked Incheon. It was clean, it was more spaced out, but it was still very much like a major Korean city. You didn't get those in Korea. It's weird. In Seoul, and it's like this in New York too. People from New York probably know what I'm talking about. You get these weird gusts of just sewage randomly that happens in Seoul a lot, and it happened in New York a lot. But I don't remember that happening in like Busan and Incheon as much. So those are probably my two favorite cities in Korea. Oh, Anna Munoz. Thank you. Sending good vibes your way. Stay safe, and thanks for always keeping your content fire. You are a queen. Takes a queen to know a queen. Okay. It's funny, like sometimes I feel like these stories, I feel bad because they're old, you know what I mean? I mentioned this before, but I actually got kind of depressed editing the clubbing in Japan video because I put myself back in 2017 and how much happier I was and how much more exciting my life was, and how then I'm just sitting here editing from the good times. I was like, I feel bad that I don't have new stuff to tell you guys about. Like I can't be like, so last week this happened because can't go anywhere right now. You know what I mean? And even some of the vlogs I uploaded from earlier this year, they were from last year. So it's really, I'm glad that you guys still like the content, but it's really depressing for me. It makes me feel bad that I'm not able to give new information anymore because I can't do shit right now. I'm sorry, let me stop being depressing. All right. Dev Thalia, do you ever plan on going to Seoul Fashion Week? It looks so cool. I'd like to go. The first 2 years I missed out on it because, the week I was teaching and I didn't live in Seoul. But one thing that I got to do again, an old story, in October, there was like this African fashion show in Seoul that we went to. And I'm mad, I didn't bring my camera for it, but I did record stuff on my phone. So I might upload some of that just so you guys can see what it was like. But it was, African designers, Korean designers inspired by African clothing. So that was like my first fashion show or fashion experience. And one thing that was really cool, you guys know Malia and Jay's YouTube channel. Malia was in the fashion show and she helped set it up and everything. And she got like VIP seats for me, my friend Aaron and Bria. So we were in front row like, oh, we're special, we're VIP, this is so cool. That was awesome. So I didn't really get to do too much with Seoul Fashion Week, but I did get to go to an African fashion show in Korea. And they said it's Asia's only African fashion show. So fun fact, that was my only fashion-ish experience so far, but I do like Korean fashion a lot. Jesus Christ, you're back this week. Cece, stay safe. I hope you and your roommate is doing good and is safe as well. Yeah, for those of y'all who don't know, last Friday night, I was informed by my roommate that he was exposed to someone who tested positive for COVID. And he got tested Saturday. Then yesterday, they said he needed to be re-swabbed. So I'm not sure if he went back there or went to Walgreens, because one of my friends said Walgreens offers faster results because they quoted him like 5 to 10 days. So we wearing masks around the house. I stay in my room literally, and I make like 2 trips a day where I go to the bathroom and go to the kitchen and I come back. And he's been staying in his room. His mom usually comes and like brings him stuff, so he doesn't really leave his room too often. So the only thing he did say is he can't really tell if he can't smell anymore. And aside from a few coughs, I think he's fine. I don't feel anything yet. I'm good. But I guess we'll know when the results come back. So that's what Jesus Christ is probably talking about, because I am in a bubble of possible corona. Tanya Ramirez, what age can you start working as an English teacher in a Korean school? The cool thing is, say you're a genius and you get your bachelor's at like 19. You can start as long as you have a bachelor's, there's no like age cap. You have to be an adult. Imagine being like Doogie Howser or like a 15-year-old trying to teach other kids English. So as long as you're of age and you have your bachelor's, there's no like minimum age requirement. And as far as the cap, as long as you're not older than 65. That's, I guess, the retirement age. I'm not sure why, but if you're like 66, you're too old to teach in Korea. Sorry. Tracy Jones, how did you meet friends in Korea? Clubbing. So here's the thing. If you go to teach at a hagwon, you will likely very easily make friends with other foreigners who teach with you, because at Hagwons, you're around a lot of other foreign teachers. So you guys are your coworkers. But if you teach at a public school like I did, you're like the only foreign teacher there. So most of the teachers around you are Korean and they're married and don't speak English. So I relied mostly on clubbing and through connections, but also the people you go with, like the class of 2017 intake or whatever for the spring, I stick with them. Like it's a good connection. You go through orientation together. Sometimes you're placed together in a similar neighborhood or province. So clubbing, definitely by far. And also the people you go to teach with. But if you're like an individual hire from like a recruiter, then probably your coworkers are your best bet, or clubbing. But if you go through like Epic or Talk, you will definitely easily make friends with the other people who are new teachers the same time as you. You get your roommates. And then the one thing that was cool about the Talk program, they set up like a Facebook group chat for each province. So like the Jeju chat, the Jeollanam chat, the Gangwon-do chat, and you could all say, what school did you get? Oh my God, I got this school. We're right across from each other. That was really, really helpful. So I didn't feel so alone going there in the first place. Nia G, have you ever gone clubbing alone? Hell no. And I've seen many people do it. I'm not saying it's not safe or anything. The reason I don't do it is because I'm not one to just walk up to somebody and make friends with them. Like I wouldn't be good at just hanging out with somebody. And then if I'm just dancing in a corner, sipping my drink by myself, I'd be miserable. I'm not a solo traveler. Like I need a friend. So I've never gone clubbing alone, but it's actually way more common than you think. Like we would have Korean girls even come up to us like, hi, and we're like, hi. And we're like, where's your friend? She said, oh, no friend, I'm by myself. We're like, what? It's actually really common. I've never done it, but it's very common. Shook Kim, any advice on how to make Korean guy friends? I don't really fit in with female friends. I don't know if you'll really fit in well with Korean guys either, because in my experience, they're a bit emotional and moody, like female are stereotyped as. Personally, to make guy friends who want to be just friends, that's going to be a challenge. Like I said, unless they're married and they're coworkers and they work at your school. But young people see a foreigner and they're like, booty. I've had so many Korean guys confess this to me themselves. Like, yeah, we want to marry a Korean girl, but when we see foreigners, we just want to hook up with them. I've heard many Korean guys say that to me, but not saying all. Again, people are so quick, like, you can't say that's true about all Korean. I never did. I'm just saying what's happened to me or what I've heard. But I would try meetups, hello talk maybe, but you have to be very stern about how you look. I just want to make friends. I am not trying to hook up. I am not into anything like that. Because I've made like 3 solid Korean guy friends. We don't talk consistently, but they've never ghosted and things never got like pervy either. So there's that. If you guys saw the vlog I did, which one was that? I think walking around Seoul or randomly doing Seoul or something. There was a guy who was in karaoke with us. We met on OkCupid, and he was never like a pervy creep type of dude or anything. But then again, he also spent most of his life not in Korea. He grew up in Japan and in the States. So I think non-Koreanized Koreans would probably be an easier fit culturally. I don't know. I'm rambling. Anel Sishi. Oh, that sounds like my name, sort of. How does the drip culture in Korean club? How's the drip culture in Korean clubs? Well, honestly, it's kind of how it is with American clubs. I don't know if you're from the States, but it's like any Western club usually. And honestly, it's sometimes it can be a little cringe, the caricatureness of trying to look a certain way when you go clubbing. Honestly, I'm old. I think drip means like style. I hope I'm interpreting that right, as the young kids say these days. But I think it's pretty similar to the US, honestly. YV Scarlet Maciel. How many vacation days do you get off as a teacher? Well, it's different between public schools and hagwons. At a public school, we got like a set 7 days per semester. At Hagwons, I think it's like 10 days for the year. And of course, it varies from contract to contract, but most of my friends I knew taught at public school who weren't in the talk program. And they could choose their vacation days. Like, well, we could choose it too, but we would get asked like every semester, when do you want to take your vacation this year? But I think they get like 10 altogether, which is why my friend Bria, I talk about her a lot. That's my girl. For example, she likes to use her like grace period in between renewing her contract to take a vacation. So like last summer, we were all in LA together, and she waited till the end of her contract and then came here to travel for, how long was she out of Korea? Like a month, I think. And then she went back and renewed. So sometimes you can work the system like that too to get an extra vacation day or vacation time. But I believe it's like 7 to 10 days. It depends on your school. Sorry, I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit already. I'm seeing a lot going on right now. Wait, you should watch it. Wait, huh? You should watch It's Okay Not to Be Okay? Is that like a drama or a movie? It's okay to not be okay, which is true, but okay, y'all want okay. Jeffrey Lalonde, Cece, have you heard about the AT's comeback? I studied last night, actually. Are you talking about the song Inception? Because I watched that video and I was like, let me try to watch some of this stuff in case they ask me about it tomorrow, so I can not seem so old. But I did see their video for Inception, and it's okay. I'm not liking it too much, but it's alright. So I did watch that video though. AT's Be Fire. It's a drama. Okay, so it's okay not to be. I haven't watched a drama in a long time. I started to watch Itaewon Class because y'all asked me to, but I couldn't finish. I got like an episode and a half in, and then I was like, you know what, I should edit. So I just went into editing. So yeah, I haven't really watched any dramas too much lately. I'm sorry. Lorenta Igehon. I'm so sorry with these names, y'all. I'm not good. Korean names are easy because they're always 3 syllables, but I'm not good with pronunciation. I'm sorry. Do you plan on going back to Japan? I 1,000,000,000% plan to go back to Japan. There's been so many times where I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go last summer, like a week or 2 into my Korea visit, and then that didn't happen because I didn't want to go alone. I was supposed to go this year for my birthday, but then I moved it to London because my friend in Tokyo had her brother come in to visit. She said, well, that'll be a bad week because our birthdays are actually like 3 days apart. And she said, that might be not a good time to visit because my brother's coming, which is understandable. So every time I plan to go, something happens. But definitely, I only spent like over a week, and I need to spend more time in Japan. There's so much that I still want to see. Ermagerd. It was amazing there. It was weird seeing like anime in real life, and I'm not trying to like drop down the country's value to anime or anything, but like getting on the train and looking out the window, I'm like, dude, it looks like the animes in real life. This is so cool. Labhu Modwadia? Would you consider teaching in Japan? Nah. Here's the thing. I applied and they accepted me last June, May, but the pay ratio is just not worth it, in my opinion. I'm not trying to go to another country, work all the time, and struggle financially. Japan is a very expensive country, specifically like Tokyo, which is where I would want to be. And they were offering me less than what my friend was making, and she was already telling me how she was struggling. And I was like, I'd be making less than her? I'm good. So, and that was also around the same time where the flight attendant stuff started to progress. So I was like, no, F that. I'm gonna be a flight attendant because I can travel, I can do stuff. So yeah, nah, I wouldn't do that. Bina, how many years did you stay in Korea? I was there from February 2017 until February 2019, and then I went again from September 2019 until the end of November 2019. I left right before what's it called? Thanksgiving, because I hadn't seen my family for 2 years. So I was missing the turkey and the yams and the stuffing and the baked macaroni and cheese, and it was a good time. It was really, really fun. Tanya Ramirez, can you go live whenever you go clubbing, or like anytime when you go? I would love to do that. Honestly, I'd love to like be in the club live streaming. It's just I don't know how much y'all to be able to see or hear because it's dark and flashy. And then I'd be like, so I'm here. I feel like I would be reporting from like a war zone or something. So I'm standing here in the middle of a crowded room in Taiwan. I don't know if you can hear me. So I don't know if that would work, but I would, if y'all would like something like that, I wouldn't mind it. It's just, it would be flashy. It'd probably have to be a shorter stream too, because that takes data and battery and yeah. Oh man. Ruth Aki, where are you now? Korea, America, by the way, love you. I love you too, Ruth. I am in California right now. I've been here since March. I've been in America since November. And yeah, that is my current situation, which is why I can understand why a lot of people are confused about where I'm at, because again, I'm having to like recycle old stories and old experiences from Korea and Japan, because I can't talk about what I'm actively doing because I'm not actively doing anything because Corona. So, all right. So we're 31 minutes in. So I think this is the part where I'm going to tell you about my little announcement. I was actually up until like 5 a.m. researching this and thinking about this. So I found out that my channel is actually eligible for the membership thing, which I was like, why would I have people pay for a subscription when it's free? But apparently the way it works is you can upload badges and emojis, like for the live streams that we do or for the comments and stuff, because there are definitely a lot of people who are consistent in the comments and consistently funny. So you can put like a badge and an emoji next to your name if you pay for the membership or whatever. And the lowest I can set it at is 99 cents. So that's probably what I'll do. I'm not trying to have people pay like $3 for a monthly subscription of something that's free anyway. But you can have, I was trying to think about like emoji designs. So I was thinking of like maybe like idol stuff or K-pop stuff or like a heart, because like CC less than 3, it's like a heart. So I was thinking about making badges and emojis and stuff and setting it at like 99 cents a month. And also you can do like perks, which I was like, what kind of perks could I offer? But since I do these streams and they're starting to get a bit more like congested, I was thinking maybe doing like a private stream, like maybe twice a month with like the members only. To me, this feels kind of like what's that website? No, the other website I'm talking about where people upload stuff like privately and you pay for it and it's like usually provocative. I'm not about that, but if you guys would like more like customized videos and like more requested videos, I'm thinking about starting this YouTube membership thing. OnlyFans, Binky Fiji, thank you, OnlyFans. It's like that, but I'm not doing OnlyFans. It's not me. But I was thinking it might be fun if I could upload like emojis, custom emojis that I could make. And I probably will start working on that after this stream because I don't got to film today. I uploaded yesterday. So that would be fun. And also, if I get like enough people doing the 99 cents membership, I want to start demonetizing my videos because honestly, I'm even one of the people where ads annoy me and I'm like, ugh. So I feel bad when I have to monetize my videos. So if the membership gets to enough, like a high enough standard, then I can just demonetize my videos and I don't have to worry about copyright stuff as much. So that would be fun. And I was venting on on Instagram the other night about how editing old stories kind of depressed me because in my mind this year I was going to be a flight attendant, have a steady, reliable, stable plan for my life, because right now I'm just drifting with Corona. Like I don't know what I'm doing. And I miss having like a stable income. I can't do that yet because of Corona. And they keep saying we'll have a vaccine by like the end of the fall, early winter. And I hope they're right. And I just build in false hope because I can't take anymore. But it's really stressful with sponsorships because sometimes they come, sometimes they don't. The ad stuff, sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. So what happened? Oh, I thought I froze. So I don't know if you guys would be interested, but I'm only trying to set them at like 99 cents a month, maybe like $3 for like perks and private videos. I'm not sure, but if that's something you guys are interested in, that's my announcement for this video. I'm trying to play around with designs for like emojis because that would be really fun. I feel like I have to make like at least a Namjoon one because he's my future husband. So yeah, that was what I was up until like 5:30 this morning thinking about and doing research and stuff. So yeah. Pamela Hobbs, is it fun to be a flight attendant? I wish I knew. Y'all don't understand. I was hired on July 11th of 2019. I first applied at the end of March. Like as soon as I got back to America, I applied to teach in Japan and I applied to be a flight attendant. I was like, whatever looks more promising, that's where I'll drift. And the flight attendant thing, they wanted a video interview like a month later. I didn't hear anything from like April until June, and they wanted an in-person interview. I was so excited but nervous. I went there and apparently did really good because that day they said, so don't tell everyone because, you know, not everyone has their decision yet. We're still waiting on some candidates, but we want to welcome you to the team. And I was like, you mean it? No fooling? And as soon as I got to the airport, I was like, Mom, I'm hired. And here it is, almost August of 2020, and I still have not started because of Boeing issues. They were grounding a lot of unnecessary flights, then Corona issues, and people just aren't traveling, which understandably. So I don't know what it's like to be a flight attendant yet. I'm so upset. I'm really depressed about this. Like I had so much planned this year. Like even when I made the video tell you guys, I did, they hired me. I still have to pass training. So it's called a CJO, a conditional job offer, but training is not really something you fail unless you don't try. So hopefully I can put enough effort to do that. Hopefully they're still interested. I'm not even sure what's happening, but yeah, so in my mind, I'd be able to go to Korea like every month, every other month on my time off. I'd be able to vlog from Japan, vlog from Hong Kong, vlog from London, just vlogging. And none of that. I've literally been sitting in this room for months. This is so depressing. All right, let's change the subject. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Death Valley, how do you keep yourself entertained and sane on flights to Asia, LOL? Actually, you know, I've flown United every time and, you know, just have the in-flight movie. I'm not one of the people, I can't really sleep a lot. It's really frustrating because even like I said, I was up until like 5 talking about this membership thing or thinking about this membership thing. And I ended up waking up at like 9 this morning. I'm like, why am I up already? So even on the plane, I didn't sleep much and it dragged out. I hated being up right that long, but just watching movies. The first time though, like first time flying, because I flew from BWI in Baltimore to Chicago to Shanghai. The obviously the Chicago to Shanghai was the stretch. That man, I just kept watching movies and sleeping for like 20 minutes and then waking up. And I have horrible flight self-care because I'm so terrified of like public bathrooms on the planes, like the germs. I literally hold my bladder the whole time. Like I just try not to drink too much. So I've never, okay, I did the second time flying to Korea, but I will sit in my seat and not get up. And I know that's bad because blood clots can form. But you just gotta watch the movies, man. That's all I did. I had downloaded a bunch of dramas the first time I went so I could just watch those, but then there were no outlets for my laptop, so I couldn't even watch those until I got to my hotel in China. Aladdin, watch the anime. I don't know if you're talking to me or to somebody else in the group chat. Aladdin, watch the anime Kakeguri. It's on Netflix. You won't be disappointed. I did watch it, and I was disappointed. Okay, I only watched season 1 because I like psychological drama type of, or psychological thriller, mystery, horror type of animes. And that one keeps coming up when I do that search. So I was like, all right, everybody keeps talking about it. I got to watch it. So I was like, getting into this premise, I'm like, so they're high school students. They never actually learn. And they spend all their time just gambling. Where's the staff? Where's the parents? And then I don't like animes that are unnecessarily like sexual. I'm just a prude in that way. So I finished season 1. I watched the first episode of season 2 and came to the unanimous conclusion that that anime was not for me. So yeah, I'm sorry. That's embarrassing. I'm sorry. I didn't like it. I tried because it kept coming up. I was like, fine, I will watch it. And I sat there like, I know anime is not realistic. It's not supposed to be, but not even like a video of them in class learning. Like, I don't even remember seeing what any of their teachers look like. It was always they go to school and they go gamble. Meow meow, like the cat girl and yeah, the house pets. Yeah, I couldn't get into that. Oh boy. Crispy Hollow, do you feel the US country is on the brink of a civil war? I don't, because I feel like it's like Trump's side is a losing battle. Like there aren't the people who did support him are waning in support. And people keep saying it's the silent majority. It's really not, because even in 2016, he never won the majority of anything. He lost the popular vote. It was just people was like, I'm not gonna vote because I hate them both. I remember I was in school on campus in New Jersey and I said, Mom, what time the polls open? Because I'm registered to vote in Maryland. So I went home in Maryland to vote. I honestly did not think he was going to win. I was like, let me vote just in case. But I knew a lot of people, hell of my cousins were like, even in Pennsylvania, the state that he actually won, they were like, I'm not voting because Hillary's going to win anyway. And the minute that Pennsylvania turned red, I was like, you were saying? How dare you? You've doomed us all. I was pissed. I don't think we're on the brink of a civil war because it's not, he doesn't have enough supporters to put up a battle. It's a losing fight, you know what I mean? That's just my opinion. um Wendy, darling, I couldn't even vote back then. Yo, I'm curious how many people in the chat right now are old enough, or in America, sorry, and old enough to vote. Because I remember even in 2012, that was my first time being old enough to vote, and I was in New Jersey, so I had to send in an absentee ballot for Maryland because that's where I'm registered. So I was kind of cracking up at Cheeto and Chief, who decided to tweet out like absentee ballot is bad and mail-in is good, or vice versa, not knowing that absentee ballots and mail-in voting are the exact same thing. I'm like, bruh. All right, so we got sixth grade. Oh wow. All right, we got enough. I think we got some good support to vote. Yo, and it's funny because everybody keeps touting this is going to be like a landslide. And I want to believe that. I just don't want to get too cocky because I did not see him winning the first time. But even states that he won are leaning towards Biden. All Biden got to do is sit back and be quiet. He can win by being not Trump. So I'm just really hoping he doesn't say something stupid. Or, I don't get it. And then this dude tried to delay the election. That's what blows me. He said, we need to wait for it to be safe enough for people to go out and vote. I'm like, but you're trying to force kids to go back to school next month. You think it's safe enough for them to go back to school, teachers and kids in the same environment, but it's not safe enough for us to vote? It doesn't make sense. Luckily, only Congress can do that, which would mean that Nancy Pelosi being Speaker of the House and Mitch McConnell would have to agree, and Nancy not doing that. So luckily he can't, but oh, it's so frustrating. It would be really exciting though, because this could be a chance to have the Senate, the House, and the presidency being blue for the first time since like 2010-ish, when it started to turn red again. Poor Obama. Yeah, Jesus Christ, it's up to the Electoral College. You know what's sad? I had to explain the Electoral College to my dad. Um, he was like, wait, if Hillary got 3 more million votes than Trump, how did he win? Like, well, think of it this way. Say people in California, it's a very, very reliable, very heavy blue state, has like the most electoral votes of any state, 55 electoral votes. Say all the 55 million people here voted. But say she could only win this state, even if every other state went magically red somehow, she would win the overwhelming majority of the popular vote, but not enough electoral votes, which I am hoping the electoral thing is either updated or just abolished, because it does no one any good. It's just funny how the founding fathers put this in place to prevent this very thing from happening. But every Republican in my lifetime has lost the popular vote but became president still. Like Bush both times, Trump the last time. All right, let's get back to Korea. I'm sorry. Emily Yolo, would you do cosplay? What do you think of other Black cosplayers that face racism for being different and not being a stereotype? I'd love to do cosplay. Oh my God, I've always wanted to go as Yuna from Final Fantasy. Todoroki from My Hero Academia, maybe even Riku, but her clothes are a little too revealing for my liking. But there's a ton of people that I'd be like, yo, that fit is cute. Like I want to wear that way. I want to do that thing, and I want to wear that outfit. As far as racism for not being a stereotype, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Specifically in the world of cosplay, I've never done it, so I don't have too many friends who are into that, unfortunately. Muffin, what was your favorite Korean food? I like what's it called? Mulnaengmyeon in the summer. It's like these ice noodles. It's literally like buckwheat noodles. There's like a boiled egg or a half boiled egg. There's like seaweed on top, and it's literally ice in the dish, and it's perfect for the summertime. Oh my gosh. But I like samgyeopsal most of the year. And I also really like I hate that I like it, jokbal, which is pig's feet. I hate that I like that. And I like kimchi jjigae in the winter. But I also like kimchi bokkeumbap, which is like kimchi fried rice. There's a lot. I'm sorry. I can't pick just one favorite. Pamela Hobbs, why do people bring dogs to clubs? Okay, that was one time. I think she's talking about when I went clubbing in Gangneung during the Olympics in 2018. Someone brought their dog to the club. I thought it was a toy because for the longest he wasn't moving, and I'm just like, and I took my phone and I zoomed in and I could see him. I was like, that's a real dog. Somebody brought their dog here. That was the one time I saw that happen. So I don't think it's a normal basic thing. I think that was just a one-time thing. I've never seen that before. Do-wop, do-wop. Shoo-wop, da-da, bang. Hey, Todoroki. I've always adored Todoroki. And that's why it was funny when me and my friend went to this anime museum in Tokyo and they were promoting My Hero Academia and they had these huge cardboard cutouts of all of them. I didn't even watch the anime yet because I didn't know about it. So I went to him. I was like, the half fire thing, that's cool. I went to put my arm around him and I cut my hand on like a splinter or something or on the cutout. And my friend got a picture of me like, so I thought that was really funny. I was like, I can't even touch a cutout of him. Like he's just too fire. But that was really interesting. Jordan Ramsummer, how much was the Skin Star box and where did you order it from? See, here's the thing. I actually didn't pay for that. Like I said, it was a very sketchy situation where I got a DM on Instagram and they said, hey, we would like you to promote this box if you're interested. We've seen your skincare stuff. It looks great. And I was like, sure. Like after looking on their site, and it's like a monthly subscription of products that are supposed to be catered to that month. I'm actually getting another one in August, but I didn't actually pay for it. And I left a link for the Skin Star box in that video, but I personally found it through their Instagram. So, because it's also in their like bio box on Instagram. So that's where I found it. I feel my voice waning. Tracy Jones, how much money should you save up before living in Korea, including money for housing, transportation? Well, housing they pay for. Transport, I mean, if you have to, well, oh wait, if you're just talking about going not as a teacher, that's going to be hard because in Korea it's like a lot more difficult to evict people. So you have to put a huge deposit when you go to move into a place. That's why it's very common, like if you guys watching Korean dramas, kids live with their parents for a really long time. Whereas in America, it's kind of seen as like a shameful thing to do to have to still be home. These days, it's more understandable because of student loans. But back in the day, once you move out, if you have to come back, or if you're like living with your parents until your 20s, it's like, what's wrong with you? But in Korea, yeah, you have to put, I've heard deposits being as big as like 10,000 US, 5,000 US, 2,000 US for like the tiny little goshwon. So it really depends. I don't know. It depends because it's the deposit, the safety deposit is the expensive part. But if you want to live there and save up before you live there, I'm not sure how realistic that is, unless you mean finding a job after you get there, because That's possible. That's very doable. But yeah. Nia G, I'm just gonna live in a Goshiwan. Yeah, you could do that. I rented a Goshiwan one weekend, like the weekend I went to see Dean, and it was miserable. First of all, on their the ad for the place, they said they had air conditioning. All they had was a fan. It was really hot. This was in the middle of July, so it was rainy. It was Jangma. It was rainy and humid. I've never seen like a tiny little shower cubicle with a toilet in the bedroom. It was miserable. It was actually, I have a funny story about that because I didn't actually pay for the place. The thing is, I went to check in and no one was at the counter. So I was like, hey, I'm here. Where do I pay? How do I get to my room? They told me the room and they told me the code. And they said that they'll collect the payment in the morning. But when I got to the room and saw that it wasn't as advertised, I tried to tell them that and they didn't respond. So when I woke up and they didn't respond, I was like, I'm just going to leave. So I stayed there and I never actually had to pay. Only spent the night, but it was miserable. It was hot, humid. There was a few flies in there. I could hear everything from the neighbors' conversations. I could smell their cigarette smoke. I wouldn't recommend a Goshiwan. They're for the people who are desperate, but they should be avoided as well. Yeah, I think I should make that video about my first venture for a concert because I forgot. I just straight up left, and my friend was like, "Don't worry about it, just don't pay." I was like, "What?" They're like, "Just don't pay. They that's false advertisement. They weren't here. That's bad for business. Just don't pay." I was like, "Okay, you're right." So AAR or AAR. Would it be easier to book an Airbnb for staying just a few months in Korea? Honestly, probably because I know with Airbnb, some places offer like a month discount. Like if you pay for the month or book for the month, they give you a discount. As far as getting like a hostel nightly, that could be expensive depending on where you want to go. So I think for long-term stay, Airbnb is definitely the way to go. Especially if you want something nicer than a Goshiwan. I'm sorry. Goshiwans are awful. Nia G, if I don't find a roommate, Goshiwan it is. Yeah, I mean, just be aware that you will likely hear what your neighbors are saying, whether they're talking on the phone and arguing, whether they're knocking boots, whether they're smoking a cigarette, drinking. You can hear everything. The walls are paper thin. At least at the one I was at, and from a lot of my friends hate Goshiwans because of that. Which is one of the things when I went to visit last summer, I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to get a Goshiwan. But I was thinking about YouTube and how people were like, shut up, like I'm being too loud or something. But my friend was like, just stay with me. So I was like, okay. So I will pray for you though if you go into a Goshiwan. Emily, YOLO, black people in cosplay are being told they can't dress as certain characters because they're black. I never heard of that before. Okay, there was this one thing actually where a girl got mad at me because I wasn't mad. She sent me a video of I think he was from Thailand or something, and he was dressing up as like an anime character. I don't know who the character was, but he put on like bronzer and foundation that was darker, like too dark for him. And she was saying how it was blackface and she was upset. And when I told her I didn't really mind it because he was just doing cosplay, she was upset. She unfollowed and told me I was a sellout, which I'm used to. But for me, every time someone paints their face black, I'm not going to immediately cry blackface because blackface, those minstrel shows, were done with the intent of imitating black people and portraying black people in a negative light. Now, when that happens, that is blackface. But like I said in my appropriation video, I remember people were mad at Channing Tatum because he put on bronzer to look like Beyonce. They said that was blackface. So I've never heard about this cosplay thing with black people not being able to do it, but that sucks. I think that sucks. I've never heard about it, but it sounds awful. Self-taught. How did Koreans react when you did mistakes while speaking Korean? They found it cute. They were like, "Oh, it's actually this," or like they would just be like, "Okay, I understand what you meant, but you actually should say this." But most of the reactions are, "Oh, cute." It's like, "Oh, it's cute." So yeah, no one ever said like that's not how you say it. If anything, they were like, oh, that's cute, but no, this is how you say it. Oh man. Sarah Burgick, what was your favorite activity to do in Korea? Clubbing. Clubbing was up there, but honestly, Korea is full of all these weird naturey stuff to do, like these like rail bike things that were in theory fun, but we picked kind of a hot day to go and it was a lot of effort. So that was very scenic and very pretty, but hard work. Things like going to Nami Island to zip line, going to Gangwon-do to zip line. There's a ton of fun stuff to do there, but I really like clubbing. I like shopping. I like just seeing new stuff and seeing new neighborhoods and seeing new places and taking pictures there. That's like my favorite thing to do. There's a ton of cafes and places that are meant for you to go to take pictures. They're photo zones. Like you'll look on the ground and see a circle with a picture of a camera. They tell you where to stand and you take your picture there. And you see people lining up to like next in line. It's cute, but I like to take pictures in different new places around new cities. It's just seeing newness. I don't know. I crave spontaneity and newness, which is why I'm dying right now. Goodness. Why these Scarlet Messiel? Do Koreans try to talk to foreigners in English? Yeah, definitely. I remember me and Bria were late. Look, I love Bria to death, and if she watches this at some point, I love her to death, but she has the punctuality of a dead person. She is never on time. She's always late. She's like, it's only gonna take me 10 minutes. I'm like, Bria, you said that 30 minutes ago. So we were late trying to rush to Itaewon and meet my friends in the club, and me and her were like kind of like impatient. And then this random older Korean dude, not older, but maybe in like his mid to late 30s, he was like, hello. I was like, hi. And me and Bria looked at each other like, because we knew what was about to happen. An awkward, forced conversation where maybe he's trying to just practice his English or maybe he's trying to hit on you. So he was just like, hello. And I was like, hi. He said, where are you from? I was like, I'm from the States. He's, oh, American. Cool. And I was like, yeah. He's just trying to like, and he was like, yeah, I grew up there. I lived there for university. And we're like, oh, that's nice. Like, I try to keep conversations short because I'm not interested in prolonging it, but I don't want to be rude and just be like, don't talk to me. So I'm like, yeah, cool. But he's like, where are you going? And we're like, we're just heading out to meet some friends. He was like, oh, where are they? And I was like, Itaewon? He's like, Itaewon. Foreigners love Itaewon. I was like, yeah, we do. And luckily, the next stop was him, and he just left. So we were like, oh, my God. So stuff like that will probably happen fairly often, where it would be a very short, awkward, somewhat forced conversation. But I think it's mostly to just practice their English, but they could be just trying to hit on you, too. I don't know. AAR. Me and my brother is actually wanting to visit Korea in the future. What's the best place to visit? It depends on what you like, girl. Personally, like I said, Busan is gorgeous. Like you can't go wrong. Like there's a lot of scenic beauty there. There's clubbing there. There's like cityness. Like there's shopping areas. Busan is really a great city. There's like a lot of little culture towns. Great for taking pictures with the good background behind you. I like Busan a lot. And I feel like that's cliche because everyone says Busan or Seoul. Those are all the cities. Gwangju is really nice. Gangneung is nice. Daejeon is nice. Incheon is nice. Jeju is nice. Okay, I'm a little biased. A lot of people flock to Korea and they love Jeju. So I do recommend Jeju. Personally, I don't like Jeju because I lived there for a year, so it got old kind of fast. But yeah, you can go to Jeju. You can see the palm trees, the beaches. If you do go to Jeju, I recommend this beach called Hamdok, which is Hamdok, Hamdok Beach. Beautiful. Turquoise water, very shallow and warm. I was like, wait, are we in Korea or like the Caribbean? Like I was mind blown. I did not expect to see water that bright and blue in Korea. Hamdok Beach in Jeju is gorgeous. It's more laid back there for sure. So I'd recommend Jeju and Busan, I guess. Thalia, what's something you will never do again in Korea/Japan? I don't know. Never do. I don't like to never try or never do things, but never do it there again. Maybe I'll say I'll never book an Airbnb with the shower outside. Because our air in Japan, our shower was like outside of our actual apartment. So like it was a shower that everyone shared. And I can't sleep if I don't shower. So my friend had to spot me and I had to make sure people weren't trying to like peek and look. That was like my biggest regret, I guess. I don't really have too many regrets about Japan. It was great. I loved it there. And never do in Korea. I can't really think of anything. You know, actually, one thing I'll never do in Korea again is use Tinder. There's no point. Half of like I did meet my ex there, but for the one that was good, there's like 1,000 that are awful. Most of the replies don't get read or like I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. 안녕하세요, nice to meet you. 안녕하세요, 반갑습니다. Nothing. And I'm like, do they just rack up these matches just to be like, look how many matches I got? I will never use Tinder in Korea ever again, unless it's to make a video to show you how crappy it is. But for personal gain, never use Tinder again. Oh man. All right, so we're an hour in. How are y'all feeling so far? Because I don't know. I feel like I'm boring. And I'm not trying to be like too self-deprecating, but I don't want to not entertain people or not make people feel like they're enjoying their time here. But I feel quite like repetitive, so I'm sorry. If y'all are still good, we'll keep going. We got 1 hour and 1 minute in. All right, I see pretty good. You're okay. All right, let's keep going. Caitlin Davis, what are some of the best skincare clinics to visit in Korea? Well, I've only been to 2. I've been to Omoa and Renovo. I liked Renovo a little bit better because it was more English friendly than Omoa. Like in Omoa, I only got by because I was making a video and the guy helped me with the video is Canadian, so he spoke English. But at Renovo, they have people who like are there to translate for you and consultate with you and tell you what the doctor's saying and tell you what they said. So I like Renovo better, but I've only gone to 2, so I can't really say. There are literally hundreds of clinics in Korea, and I've only gone to 2. So I could recommend Renovo, but I've only been to 2. Madhuri Shuk, how does the teaching in Korea work? Well, as a foreigner, I'm not actually sure what you mean. If you go there to teach English, it depends on if you're at a Hagwon or public school, because I think Hagwons actually have like longer shifts. Like my friend Bria, for example, works 2 to 10. I used to work from like 9 to 2, like 9 to 2, 9 to 1-ish. So yeah, you go, and honestly, for a lot of the time at a public school, you're just kind of sitting around waiting for your class to start. My first school in Jeju, I taught the curriculum with my teacher. So we taught like for 3 hours straight from like 9 to 12:30. Then we had lunch. Then I had like an hour to, no, like 2 hours to just sit in my classroom and wait for my after school stuff to start. But when you're at a Hagwon, I think it's pretty back to back. So as far as how it works, and sometimes they have you follow a curriculum. Sometimes you're expected to do your own thing. I've always had to follow a curriculum though, which is actually way more helpful because it helps you know what the kids should know by what point, what things you need to be covering, what needs to be drilled into their head. I prefer curriculum. A lot of people like to have that creative spirit to teach whatever. I like curriculum, but yeah. Nia G, what's a good mix with soju? Honestly, soju is one of those alcohols that kind of mix well with everything. Like, it's clear, in my opinion, it's pretty light. Like, it's not a really strong one. Soju is one of those drinks I can take straight and not be like, oh, too much. But I enjoy soju with like Sprite or cola. A lot of people like to mix it with beer and call it somek because mekju is beer in Korean and it's soju, so somek. but I'm allergic to beer, so I've never done that. But that's a very popular mix, soju and beer. I've never done it myself though. Anyoa Esona Mangu. Is that a wig? This is indeed a wig. Yeah, it's from Icy Hair. I just put a video about it maybe like 3 days ago. Not too many people watched it though, but I talked about how I cut it and colored it and stuff. Anya Bradley, is it easy to learn Korean? I think it depends on your native language. As an English speaker, it's not the easiest because the sentence structure is like the complete opposite. Learning how to read in the language is super easy. Learning vocab is pretty easy. I think the thing I struggle with by far is sentence structure, like sentence order and particles. I hate it. I hate particles and sentences. I still don't get the difference between e/ga or nun. I don't know sometimes when you use the l particle. I still don't sometimes know who is the topic of the sentence. Like it's really difficult. Sentence structure, I do not understand it. I find that when I do speak Korean, it doesn't make sense, but people desperately try and make me feel better. They're like, I think I get what you're saying. And they'll correct me later. But yeah. Oh, Mariah Carey. Are you friends with YouTuber Malia? I know her. We don't like talk actively every day, but when I met her through my friend Bria because they are childhood lifelong friends. And I met her through her in, what was it? Like September of 2018, my friend Bria, she was moving into her new apartment and she had like a housewarming. And that's where I met like my friends Tanya, Aaron, Malia was there, Jay was there, of course Bria was there. And she had a few other teacher friends, but they didn't really stick around too long. But yeah, I met her, like we talked, she invited us to the fashion show, let us sit front row and everything. Honestly though, she's so busy with working that I didn't really get to see her much while I was there. Because when I was living, let's call it what it was. I was living with my friend Bria from September to November of last year, and they lived together. So like I would only hear her early in the morning and then see her when she came home late at night because she works constantly. But I know her. Get thirsty. Madri Shuk. I hope I'm saying that right. Must you study to be a teacher before you go to Korea to teach English? Nope. And it's funny because that's what I was worried about too. I was like, I have zero teaching experience. I've never studied teaching etiquette or law or rules or whatever. You do not. You need any bachelor's and they will take you. I've met people who their majors were history, business management, biology, psychology. I was geology. So no, you don't have to have any background. It's crazy. Christy Hollow, have you met Chili Got Soul? She's another Black YouTuber. I've never met her before, but we've talked a bit. Like we talk on Instagram, especially after the whole One Nation thing came out, because she kind of helped fill me in on the situation. But we've never met in person. I actually don't know if she's even in Korea or in the States, but we've talked before. Nili Kadori, do you write your own teaching materials or do you get provided with it? It's a mixture of both because it was funny. Like, honestly, I was in a very fortunate situation with my teaching situation because my first full year, I taught with a Korean woman who was teaching English with me. So kind of seeing a more realistic approach to it was really helpful for me. Like sometimes she would, like, of course we followed the textbook. It was like a YBM textbook or something. And she would kind of just skim ahead and be like, yeah, this isn't good. So for those days where she didn't like what the book was teaching, she would tell me to come up with something. So it was a little bit of both. Like sometimes we were hard, strict on following the curriculum. Sometimes she said, can you come up with something else? So it just depends on your school and your situation. And I was, however, like the game maker. I was in charge of games every day. So we would do the curriculum and then play a game to like drill it in or to make it more fun. So like vocabulary memorization type of games, alphabet stuff for like the younger kids, sentence structure for like the sixth graders. So it really depends. But I did a little bit of both where I made my own stuff and where we had the hardcore follow the curriculum. So that's awesome. Double A R, what's your opinion on Korea booze? Um, I don't really care. Like, what even is a Korea boo? Like someone who likes Korean culture? The only time when it's bad for me or when I cringe a little bit is like when people are mid sentence, like, I'm so pegupa. I'm like, you could just say hungry. That's the only time where I'm just like, okay. But I don't mind Korea boos. People like what they like. It is what it is. I mean, it's just like you can't win because people are like, when you show interest in stuff that's foreign to you, then you're a sellout. You wish, I can't tell you how many times I've been called a Korea boo or how many times I've been told, oh, you just hate Black people, you hate yourself, and you want to be Korean. I'm like, because I lived in Korea, I want to be Korean. See this? You're reaching. Like, I can't. I don't care about Korea boos. I don't mind. Do you, if it makes you happy, be happy. Like, that's what we all need to focus on these days. Freaking be happy. Be content with who you are. So yeah, Korea boo on. I don't mind. um, Double AR. Did you go to college? I did. I went to Rutgers University in New Jersey. Wonder if there's any New Jersey people here. I went to the Newark campus, which was actually an accident because I looked up schools near me in Maryland to study meteorology because since I was 10, I actually wanted to be a meteorologist or an atmospheric scientist. And Rutgers was one of the places that had it. I didn't know I had to pick a specific campus to have it. I thought the whole school would have it. And I didn't pick New Brunswick. I ended up picking Newark, which was a good and bad thing. But then I switched my major to geology because I was talked into it by one of my professors who told me like, yeah, you know, if you have a geo degree, you can get more of a background and it broadens your higher ability. So I was like, that makes sense. I'm going to study geology. And then that's when I realized how bad I was at math. And the whole atmospheric sciences, geologist thing had to get put on hold. And I haven't really looked back yet. But yeah. I see Latin Team Baltimore. Hey, be more in the house. Don't be more, be less. Okay, that was bad. That's one of the things we say, and it's really dumb. But yeah, Baltimore. Hey. Oh wow, a few people go to Rutgers. Victoria Elizabeth. I go to Rutgers. Brendan 2122. Oh my God, I go to Rutgers. Tanya Ramirez. I'm from New York. Yeah, the cool thing was my dorm and University Square. I got to see the New York skyline from my dorm room. That was awesome. I was like, and then seeing the sunrise every morning was gorgeous. It would heat up my room in the morning. It was hella hot, but it was really, really pretty. Jen B. Rutgers alumni. Oh, that's so cool. You know, it was really weird. One of my students, because I noticed in Korea a lot, kids will wear random stuff on their shirts. So some stuff is even a little inappropriate. Like, she's not a dog, she's a bitch. I'm like, wait, what? Literally, there was a fifth grader with that on his shirt. Don't know what that meant. Don't know why that was on a fifth grader. But one of my kids had on a hoodie that said Rutgers. And I was like, oh, that was my school. He said, teacher, I don't care. And I was like, fair enough. But yeah, so I remember it kind of gave me a bit of nostalgia seeing a kid wearing Rutgers on their hoodie. But oh man. What is Rutgers? Rutgers, Rutgers. That's the school that I went to. It's a university. I don't know what it's named for. I don't know what a Rutgers is either, but that's the school name. There was the Camden campus, the New Brunswick campus, and the Newark campus. So yeah. Chioma, and the fifth grader probably doesn't even know what it says. I know, but like, who would make that small enough for a child? Like, who says this will be a good kid's t-shirt? Not a bitch, or not a dog, but a bitch. I was like, what? That was interesting. Oh boy. Sana branch. What time is it in Korea? Well, I'm on LA time, but I do have like this dual clock, and it is 6:14 a.m. right now in Korea, which is probably why my friend Bria hasn't been joining lately for these chats, because I think 1 p.m. is a pretty good time to do it for most people. But I used to start chats like later, like 4, and she'd be up early for work and stuff. So Tanya Ramirez, I'm good at math but bad in other subjects. Yeah, I'm the opposite. I've always and I still do love science. Like I love like the planet and earth sciences and astronomy. I love science. And like for example, like writing is one of those things I don't like, but I'm really good at it. So like I would put all my papers off until the night before and then still get like an A- on it. And I'd be like, fair enough. But with math, try as I might, I don't. As soon as they started putting letters in math, I was like, I'm out. Like why? Why does X need a value? It's no good. Pamela Hobbs, do Korea have art museums? Korea has beautiful art museums. Oh my gosh. They have a lot of like interactive type of stuff too. Like if you guys saw the vlog I did, one of my most recent vlogs from last summer, we went to the K Hyundai Museum. I think it's called the K Hyundai Museum. It was gorgeous. And we were so lucky to be there by ourselves. It was the middle of a work week. So I'm sure most people were at work. I don't know what it was, but we had the whole place to ourselves. Like it felt like a VIP treatment. They had these cute neon lights. They had LGBTQ art. So I was like, in Korea, this is progress. Like that was amazing. It was beautiful. I love museums, period. But in Korea, they are really nice too. They have a lot of history museums too, and most of them are free and they're open like every day, like all days of the year. I love it. I love museums, man. Um, Eva Chow. I'm going Chow. I'll go Chow. Is it easy to move to Korea? Honestly, it depends on what you plan to do and where you come from. Because if you're coming to be a teacher and you're not from the 7 countries, then it's as of now not very possible. But if you're going to like move and visit and be an entrepreneur, there's a billion and one visas and a billion different ways to qualify for these visas. The good thing is with their tourist visa, it's like for 90 days for most countries. And what a lot of people end up doing is they'll go to Japan for like a day and then come back, and then the 90-day counter starts again. So they're very lax on that. As far as moving there to like successfully make an income, it depends on what you plan to do. But the getting to Korea was probably the easiest part, meeting the requirements from a teacher standpoint, because America is slow at stuff. That was the time consuming thing. It took forever for my fingerprints and the background check and all that stuff to come out. And even at the embassy in New York City, or New York, in DC, Washington DC was the closest one for me. Yo, they were not cooperating. Like that lady, literally my mom's friend had to come in and pretend to be my dad to sweet talk the lady into my visa. Yo, she was a bitch for no reason. I consider myself a polite person. I was losing it. Like I was waiting there for hours. They put up the sign, took it down. I went over and asked like how much longer. She got mad at me for that. I'm sorry. Um, Matika Casca, 7 countries. Yeah, I'm gonna try to not repeat the same countries because I did that before. But the 7 countries, I'm gonna try and go in order: Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, the UK. Did I say the US? South Africa, and I think that's all 7. Yeah, for some reason, even though I know there are many, many more countries where English is an official recognized language, like in India, and for some reason they don't accept teachers from there. I don't get why. I do have friends who weren't born in America but became naturalized citizens, so they were still eligible. So as long as you're from the 7 countries or hold citizenship in one of those 7 countries, then you can go. But it's really, really ridiculous. Um, Tanya Ramirez, did you study for tests? I don't study and I get good grades. I wonder why though. For math, I studied. For math, I did study and I still usually did not do great. For like sciencey stuff, some things kind of come natural to people, I think. And when you're interested in the subject, I think you're just excited to learn about it. Like for me, when I had oceanography and I had, what did I have? Environmental science or environmental geology. And what was that other class called? Like Planet Earth? Planet Earth. It was called a Planet Earth class. Those type of classes came natural to me because I was excited to learn about that. But with math, I'd rather just not. So I'd studied or made the attempt to study, and I usually did not do great. Kanisha, just for fun, who would you marry, kiss, and slap? Namjoon, JB, and Lucas. Well, I don't care about Lucas, so I'll slap him. I'd kiss JB and marry Namjoon. That's actually easy. Okay, slap Lucas, marry Namjoon, kiss JB. Yeah. um. Wait, no one can take Soju straight. What you mean? Soju is easy, especially compared to stuff like tequila and vodka and whiskey and rum. Oh my gosh, what you mean? Rum. I love rum, but I think Soju's pretty easy to take for me. I do remember at the Gochuans at the what are they called? She something? Hueshik, the business dinners or whatever from my school. I noticed the teachers were like sipping their shot of soju, like the glass. They would just sip it and then put it back down, mostly full still, because once it's empty, the younger person is supposed to fill it back up. But because I didn't know that, the youngest Korean teacher took on that duty. But I see a shot glass, I take the shot glass. I'm a simple girl. So I would just take it and they're like, whoa, one shot. And they just kept going. To me, soldier's not that bad. Temi, what's your sexuality? Okay, well, I consider myself heterosexual or straight, if people want to call it that. I saw that answer question a few times. Okay. Anya Bradley, why you gotta smack Lucas? Look, I was given three options, okay? Lucas isn't someone I follow or like, oh, he's so cute. So that was, I'm sorry, process of elimination. I had to slap him. Oh, man. Amira Bella, while being a teacher in Korea, what did you have to do for lesson plans and how long did it take you? Well, usually for lesson plans, I wouldn't really find out what my teacher wanted until the day before. But one thing that's actually kind of interesting is with some schools, because some of, like I said, I was blessed. I got very lucky with a very cool school, a very friendly system. Because some of my friends, they had to submit their lesson plans for the entire semester ahead of time. That happened to two girls that I knew in Jeju in the talk program. The vice principal or their mentor teacher would sit there and make them plan out the whole semester in advance, all at once. I was like, what? I get like a day's notice to try to incorporate new words into a game or something. That was to the extent of what I had to do. So lesson planning, it just depends. Like I hate that I can't really give like a more solid, concrete effort or answer, but it just depends. Like so much is so variable. I can't speak. So much varies from school to school, town to town, program to program. But yeah, some people had it way worse than me, man. I got really, really lucky with my teaching experience in Korea for sure. What? Llama awkward man? Taco Bell or Namjoon? Um, well, I have not been eating Taco Bell because the CEO came out as a Trump supporter. So Namjoon, I love Namjoon. Matika Casca, where did you teach? My first year I lived in Jeju City, but I taught in Seoul, which is a town in the southern island or southern tip of Jeju. My second year, I taught in Taean, which is in Chungnam province, and it is like 2 hours south of Seoul via bus. I taught in Taean, and what was that other town? It was a town near Manlipo Beach. I forgot what it's called, but I taught at two schools my second year there. Neely Kadori, I like saying that name. Do you get supervised? At school, again, I had a really lax situation. I did have like open classes once a semester where the teachers, the vice principal, the principals, sometimes parents would show up and like just sit in the back and watch and take notes. But my first year was probably the more supervised that I was because we even had other top students come and watch our classes and like critique what we did. But the thing is, for me, I was notified like at least a week in advance about the open class. I was able to choose the grade, like which grade I wanted to display, which for me, my fifth graders and my third graders were always amazing. So I said, I'll show y'all my fifth graders next week because they listen and they're fun and they actually try. So like I said, I got really freaking lucky. My experience was really, really chill, but that was as bit of supervision as I had, just an open class once a semester. Sometimes, I would see the principal roam in the halls and peek in and just smile and then keep it moving, and that was it. I got really lucky. Abby Iki, what's the legal age to drink in Korea? I believe it's 19. Yeah, I believe it's 19. And I know there's like the whole international age versus Korea age. They go by the year you were born, I believe. Usually when people ask how old I am anyway, in Korea, I just tell them the year I was born. So they're like, how old are you? I was born in 93. Oh, okay. So we don't got to complicate things by saying, oh, I'm 29, I think, Korean age, and then 27. It's ridiculous. But I'm pretty sure it's 19 drinking age. Because when I go to like convenience stores, like the GS25s and got the other major convenience store, but you would see like the number 19 and a 0x on it. Like, in Korean writing. So I think it said like if you're under 19, you can't buy the soju or cigarettes. So yeah, I think so. Neely Kadori, have you watched any musicals? It's funny because I don't like musicals, but I did watch Hamilton. And Hamilton was, and I feel like it's such a cliche because everyone loves Hamilton. Dude, that was like the music in that had me hooked. I'm not a musical person. I think musicals are so corny. I never even liked High School Musical. I can't get into. I'm like, this is so beyond realistic. I can't take it seriously. But Hamilton was amazing. I am obsessed with Lin-Manuel Miranda. He is a magical songwriter. I'm literally obsessed with him. And the song Satisfied is probably my favorite one. It's like I listened to it enough that I finally have it memorized. So I was proud of myself, even the little rap part. I was like, I got bars now. But yeah, that's the only musical that I watched and that I actually really, really like. Man, I love Hamilton. I think I watched it like 4 times now. Yeah. Huh. Amirabella, would doing lesson plans a semester in advance mean that you have no lesson planning to do for the rest of that semester? Pretty much, yeah. But a few of my friends were also in situations where they wanted where the mentor teacher wanted to update the lesson. So even though they submitted it like a month in advance, they'd be like, actually, can you change this week's lesson to this instead? So usually it would mean you don't have to do it for the whole semester, but if the teacher or if someone wanted to tweak something, then you would still have to. But I can't imagine sitting there and planning for 6 months of lessons, 5 days a week in advance. Especially since, making a lesson plan in real time is so much more practical because if you do this and notice kids aren't really getting it, then you can maybe make an extra lesson. But instead of being like, well, we're scheduled to move on, so we're moving on. That doesn't seem helpful. Self-taught. Does the general bachelor degree also apply to other languages which are taught in South Korea? I don't know. I think, well, I've only ever met like one Chinese teacher and one Spanish teacher, and their requirements were the same, but they were also from the States. So I don't know if they have different requirements for like if you're from a different country, if you need more than a bachelor's, or maybe you don't even need a bachelor's. I'm not really sure. But I think a bachelor's is like bar none for the foreign teaching visa, I think. Yeah. Marjorie, shoot, how tall are you how tall are you when is the first time you went to Korea? How tall am I? I'm about 5'4", or like 163 or 64 centimeters tall. I'm on the short side, I suppose. But you know what? That just means I have to look up more often. So that's the way I like to see it. Christy, hello. Have you ever actually met a K-pop or Korean celebrity in person? If so, what was your reaction? Pretty chill or total freak out? How were they? I've never met them, but I've seen them. And see, I'm lame. I'm a disappointment to myself because in my mind, if I got to see somebody, I'd at least ask for a picture. But I know in real life, if I did, I wouldn't want to bother them because I imagine they probably are constantly bombarded with, take my picture. Hi, I love you. I love you. And I bet for a minute they'd like to just be a normal human being. So I feel like I'd probably take a picture afar. But yeah, I did that when I saw Twice. I saw two members from Twice. I saw Dean. I saw DPR. I saw Krashi. I love the way people say his name, Krashi. And I remember being in close proximity to some Korean celebrity. I didn't know who he was, but people around me were freaking out and taking pictures. And I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know who that is. That was in Gangnam somewhere. I don't know who that was, but yeah, I'm not really lucky in that regard. Tanya Ramirez, would you ever go clubbing with a few of your subscribers? I would freaking love that. Okay, so if you guys saw my vlog I did 2 years ago when we went to this hip hop pool party in Gangwon-do, I was approached by someone who was subscribed to me, which blew me away because I had just started YouTube. I started like May of 2018. I actually finally decided to start after I saw BTS and promoting Fake Love at the Billboard Awards. I really don't know what it was about that time that made me go, I'm starting my YouTube channel. I'm finally going to do it. But a few months later in July, or I think it was July, me and my friend Haiti were by this creek just playing in the water because it was nice and cold. And we were walking back to the pool party area and getting ready to see because DPR was performing. And that was the reason I went. And this girl said, hey, you. And we're like, English, what? And she came over and said, come here. And we're like, okay. She's like, you do YouTube, right? And I was like, I do. She's, oh my God. She was from Jamaica. She's like, oh my God, I love your channel. And we clubbed that night. We partied at by the pool that night. That was awesome. So I would absolutely love that. I think the most recognition I get are from foreigners while I'm out clubbing. They're like, you do YouTube, right? I love your videos. And it's unreal, but I would absolutely love that. That would be so fun. Tomo, what's your spice tolerance? Quite non-existent, actually. In my mind, I feel like I'd like spice because I know it's like good for your metabolism, but in practicality, my taste buds just don't like it. And it's funny because usually when like at Korean restaurants, for example, when they see foreigners, they already tune down their spicy because they're not ready. But yeah, sometimes I've had kimchi that's too spicy. Sometimes I had kimchi that's fine and mild. I don't know. Like I don't like spice. I sweat easily. It's sad. Spicy food's good. It's just not for me. Cece, were you considered tall or short in Korea? Are they really like 75% legs like me? I'd say I was more on the short side. Well, actually, for girls, probably pretty much about the same height as other Korean girls. But Korean guys were probably on average like 5'8". I say on average. I've even had some kids, some of my sixth graders who were taller than me though. So that was humbling. I had this big ass sixth grader named Gunjung. And like he was so tall that his desk would just kind of sit on his lap. Cause like he would kind of have to like stuff himself in. And we were like, yo, let's get you like a bigger chair and desk. He was like, oh, thank you, teacher. He had a hella bass in his voice and he was only like 11 or 12. And he was taller than me. So yeah. Chioma N, yes, I am 27 years old. Oh, yeah, I see. She asked. Thank you for answering her question for me. I am 27, birthday April 13th, Aries. Oh, thank you. And apparently my rising sign, I think ascending is a Virgo, whatever that means. I don't even know what this stuff means, but people ask enough. So I said, you know what, fine. I'm going to look it up and see what this means. So my ascending sign is a Virgo. I saw somebody ask my sign. So I don't know who asked, I'm sorry, but I'm an Aries. Oh man. Slipperlick. What was your overall teaching experience like? I'll be teaching in April and I'm feeling a bit anxious. Girl, I was too. Like stuff didn't get, because I was in a state, because I applied in November right after Trump won the election, and I shipped out like February 3rd. So there was a bit of a waiting period, but I didn't want to let myself get too excited. And I was still actively in school. I was on campus when I applied. So I'm like having to balance school stuff and trying to figure out, am I actually going to Korea, or should I start looking into my spring classes? And I didn't want to let myself get too excited, but it didn't get real to me until that night before my flight. I was sitting in my room looking at all my stuff that we brought back from my dorm that was still in boxes, looking at my one suitcase and my carry-on. I'm like, I'm leaving the country tomorrow? Like, what am I Part of me just wanted to get back in bed and forget that I applied. I was like, I'm not ready for that. I'm just going to pretend this didn't happen. But it's weird because it's a good type of anxious. Like, I was more excited than anything else because I wanted it for so long. But overall teaching, I think by far improved my life for the better. I really don't want to sound too corny or too cliched, but I really do think teaching helped me learn more about me. Like before teaching, I would not be doing this. I would not be talking to people. Like, I would not put myself in a situation to be judged or criticized by other people and potentially hated by other people. I tried to minimize my existence from 0 until 23 years of age. I was just like, just don't notice me. I'm just going to pretend I'm not here. And going to Korea, like projecting in front of people and students, it taught me about myself. Being in a country by myself, away from my family, away from friends, taught me I can rely on myself. Like I fully recommend that people should go teach abroad. I really don't want to sound too corny, but my experience was great. The kids were adorable. Don't get me wrong. There were days when they would not cooperate and when they were bad. And teacher, no. Teacher, shit on, no. And I'll just look at them and they're like, sorry, teacher. Or I'm like, you principal, sorry, teacher. Homeroom teacher, sorry, teacher. It depends. But I absolutely loved it. No regrets. No regrets. I hope y'all get that reference. Otherwise, I look real dumb. Christy, hello. I'm a huge chocolate lover. What are some good chocolate desserts? Ooh, you're gonna be mad at me because I don't like chocolate. I hope people won't just leave the chat. I never really was a fan of chocolate. I'm sorry. But desserts though, they have really good ice cream in Korea. I feel like their ice cream is very slept on because everybody's always talking about bingsu and everything. Hey, Kate Alexandria, no regrets. Have y'all seen that movie We're the Millers? Where he had no regrets on it tattooed on his chest, but he spelled regrets wrong. So they're like, no regrets, not even a single letter. Yay, she got it. Okay. Oh, man. I'm showing my age. Aladdin, how many tattoos do you have? I think 4 now. I got this one in Korea. This from Linkin Park lyrics after Chester Bennington passed away. I went to Inkhalik in Gangnam and I got this one and this one at the same time. I have this one that I got in Hong Kong and I have one on my back that's a dream catcher that I got in like 2013 in Maryland somewhere. So yeah, four tattoos. I want more, but I put them on hold because Flight Attendant, and I don't even know what's going on with that. I'm probably not going to hear anything until next year. Sucks. SV Shimmer. Hey, did you ever meet a hot guy in Korea? Yeah. A lot of guys are hot, and that's the problem. When they know it, they're douchebags. So I see them, but I don't even bother approaching them because they're like, yeah, you liked it? Hotel? Motel? Love motel? It's so casual there, especially in the clubbing scene. So yeah, there are a ton of gorgeous hot guys there. Oh my goodness. But You gotta stay away from them. They are trouble. Toby, you may. Wait, what? But was it easy to keep contact with your friends from America while you were in Korea? Yeah, for the most part. I mean, a lot of sites and stuff that are accessible in Korea are accessible in the States. Like, it's not too many restrictions like in China, for example, where Facebook is blocked, YouTube is blocked. So I was able to just, send in random messages or because a lot of them didn't want to make a cacao just to talk to me. So we would talk on Facebook Messenger most of the time or Instagram DMs. So yeah, it was pretty easy. It's just the time difference. Like my parents would usually call me right before I'm about to go to work, and I'm like, so class is about to start, and then I would call when I finish work and they're about to go to sleep. So aside from the time difference, it's still pretty easy to keep in contact. Layla Lulu, what brought you into K-pop? Man, let me try to think of where it all began. It was YouTube. I was listening to a normal random American hip hop song, and for some reason, YouTube recommended this song from the group 2 p.m. called Without You. And I was like, all that was in English. It said 2 p.m. Without You in English. So I had no reason to question what language it was in. So it opens and it's like this piano riff. It's all black and white and it's rainy. Cute guys are wet in the rain. And I was like, what is this? And then the first lyric started and I was like, what language is that? I was so confused. I was like, let me hear it out. And I'm just like, I'm gonna be okay. Gonna be okay. I'll be okay. And it was a bop. And ever since I listened to that, YouTube started recommending Big Bang and Girls' Generation. And I really got into BoA. And that's where it started. And I got interested in physically going to Korea after I developed a little bit of a crushy crush on Glenn from The Walking Dead. And I saw him doing interviews with Conan, and they went to Korea. And I was like, that looks kind of lit. And then YouTube started recommending all of these channels about vlogging there. And here we are. Pamela Hobbs, do tattoos hurt? They're uncomfortable, but y'all don't think I'm weird. But I kind of like it. I kind of like how tattoos feel. I remember when I went to get mine in Gangnam, there was this white dude laying on his side because he was getting his ribs. He was getting this big wolf tattooed on his ribs, and he was in tears. And my tattoo artist, she was like, he's a baby. And I was like, oh shit. So she said, we're gonna do your arm first because ribs hurt. Because I got these both at the same time. She said, we're gonna do your arm first because ribs hurt. So just in case you change your mind. But part of my first tattoo goes down to my ribs anyway on my back. So I wasn't too worried about it. But I was listening to my Linkin Park. It was rainy because it was like hot and summery. And I'm vibing. Like, it's weird. It feels kind of like imagine a nail being pressed into your skin kind of hard and jaggedly, or like a needle. I could have just said a needle. But I didn't mind it. I kind of liked it. It's weird. I'm sorry. I sound like a sadist, but I actually kind of like how tattoos feel. I really like the sound of the needle too. Like I remember when I went to vlog getting this one in Hong Kong, my boyfriend at the time, he was holding my camera for me, well, my phone, because my camera was just delivered to my apartment in Korea and I missed the timing, but he was like holding it and just shaking because he doesn't like needles. But I was like, somebody said, do you want me to hold that for you? And they had to take over. But yeah, I don't mind them. Like they're annoying more than painful to me, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of irritating, but I like it. I want to get more. I actually want to get this quote, sometimes it snows in April, because I'm an April baby. And it's like a popular Prince thing. And I saw it on that anime, Boogie Pop Phantoms and Others or something. And I was like, sometimes it does snow in April. Basically, it's supposed to mean that like expect the unexpected, or I don't know. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Oh, I see people talking about BoA. Yes, BoA. A girl with a phone. Please notice me again. Hi, a girl with a phone. I've seen you. I synced it. Crispy Hollow, Super Junior got me into K-pop. It's funny because I actually never really got all that into Super Junior. I was like, why are there so many of them? Like, I couldn't keep track. Like 2PM only had 6 people. Big Bang only had 5. That was easy for me to grasp. But when there was like, 11, 9 members? nothing junior about them. Super massive. I couldn't. Rosalia X, how did you feel when you first came to Korea, and has those feelings changed as you lived there? Um, Not really. Like, the main reason I decided to leave, like, as time started to go on, I was just ready for something different. Like, when things started to become too routine, I feel like I'm ready to move on. So I was excited after the first year because I got to move. Like, a lot of people in the talk program, you stay with your school. Like, you're not allowed to move. But I was in an interesting situation where the talk program shut down in Jeju mid-contract. So they let us pick wherever we wanted to go. And I was like, here's my chance to be closer to Seoul. So I saw that as something exciting because I could be on the mainland, I could be closer to my friends, I don't have to keep flying every weekend. But as time goes on, I was like, this is just like last year, like teaching the same grade. I've reused a lot of the same material. Korea is very exciting. It's very clean. It's very safe. Oh my goodness. I took that for granted because when I got back to the States, seeing the news, a local shooting, a mass shooting, a gunman, a home invasion. I took that for granted in Korea because that was just something that was so far in the back of my mind. I just did not have to worry about it. But Korea's great. I need newness. Like I need breaks. You know what I mean? So like even when I went to visit for 3 months last year, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go back home. I want to be home for the holidays. This is starting to get too routine. The only thing that I didn't know about before I went, I didn't know how hard it would be to make Korean friends there. That was a bit of an eye opener. But after a while, I realized, look, I guess foreign friends is the plug. So I'm stick with hanging out with foreign friends. Tomo, any favorite Korean dramas? I think my two favorite ones are actiony. I like more action stuff. I'm not really a fan of the romance because a lot of the stuff is too cliche and repetitive, and like the love triangles and the random illnesses, and he's in the hospital, we don't know why, she was hit by a car, I hope she makes it. I was just like, I can't take this dramatic. But there's this one called Inspiring Generation that came out in like 2014. It had Kim Hyung Jung, I can never say his name, Hyung Jung in it, and I loved it right before it was revealed that he beat up his girlfriend at the time. It's still a really good drama. It's a history based one, and then one called K2 with Ji Chang-wook. Those are probably my two favorites. I don't really like the romancy ones. I'm sorry. My friend Majed, are you regretting living there by any chance? If by there you mean Korea, absolutely not. I do not regret going to Korea in the slightest. I think it helped me grow as a person. It helped me establish my independence. It helped me realize what I can actually do if I just go for it. So literally no regrets. Yeah, it's great. Tamia C, have you always had those lights on your wall? They look nice. No, actually, I got these from Target when I first moved into this room back in May. It rhymes. Because my whole room is pretty, like the walls are actually gray. I know they probably look white, but they're really light gray. And then my bedding is gray. So there's not a lot of color to contrast stuff. So I figured while YouTubing, people need to see something. And these lights look bigger on the box. But yeah, I like these for aesthetic purposes. Self-taught, do you have a favorite actor? I'm assuming you mean Korean actor because this is all about Korea. My favorite Korean actor is probably Hwang Jung-min. He is like an older dude, so it's not like, oh, he's so cute. He's not. It's not about that. He's a really talented actor. Most of my favorite Korean movies he was in, and it just worked out that way. So yeah, Hwang Jung-min is probably my favorite Korean actor. There's a ton of eye candy actors that I like because, I mean, they're good, but they're also great to look at. But if I had to pick one favorite actor, it's Hwang Jung-min. Definitely. A girl with a phone, do you still get stares for Korean men? I'm not sure what you mean. Do I get stared at by them? I mean, I'm not in Korea at the moment, but when I left in November, yeah, still get stared at by Korean guys and girls, ajumas and ajishis. Yeah, staring it's second nature in Korea, which is weird because if you look back at them, they're like, y'all, like it's rude. I'm like, yeah, exactly. So don't do it. I don't know. Toby Ime, did you watch the Avengers movies? But of course. Oh my gosh. And people would hate me for saying this, but for me, as of now, since last April, Avengers Endgame is like my favorite movie of all time, just because I remember watching all the movies that, you know, connected to the universe, the Iron Man movies, the Thor movies, Captain America, Spider-Man, and then seeing how the little Easter eggs and callbacks to the movies, it properly wrapped it up. Like, honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep watching. I'll probably still watch the next Black Panther, of course, the next Spider-Man, maybe the next Doctor Strange, but I'm not sure if I'm interested in like the Eternals storyline. It will be kind of interesting seeing the Snow brothers or the Stark brothers, Jon Snow and Robb Stark together in something that's not Game of Thrones, but I love Avengers. Oh my goodness. And it was cute how popular it is in Korea because my kids would go ape shit for like Thanos snaps being in because there's a lot of templates and stuff that people upload on websites like Coreshare, and you know they use whatever is popular so the kids are more engaged. So like they would see Thanos and like people kind of laugh because Thanos snapping looks like the little heart symbol that people in Korea like to do. So they're like, teacher, Thanos loves you. And it was really, really cute. Sanaa Branch, can you show your wallpaper? Wait, do you mean on my phone? Because I just have a gray wall, but if you mean on my phone, it's Namjoon. People be sending me these on Instagram, and I'm like, thank you, because I will set these. Yeah, that's my baby. I thought I saw a pretty good, unique question, but where'd it go? Why is that song by The Weeknd, Acquainted, is stuck in my head right now? I don't know why. Janelle Jones, not Korean related. Have you watched Black is King? I didn't yet because I don't have Disney Plus. I heard people talking about it and I saw that she released a new music video yesterday, but I don't have Disney Plus, so I have not watched it. Bafrain Majid, do most Korean bullies other classmates like in the dramas, or I won't say most, but it is normal. It's pretty common for people to get bullied in Korea in schools, and nobody really takes it seriously because kids will be kids. They'll work it out themselves. That's what every teacher told me when I was like, why is Soo-young crying? Why is Shia sad? Oh, they're sad. He took her books or she pushed her. It's okay. I'm like, why is that okay? So it's not like it's not as bad as it is in dramas, I don't think. But then again, I taught in elementary school, so I don't know what it's like for high school. But yeah, it's pretty bad. Rosalia X, did you ever date a Korean guy? I had one Korean boyfriend, and I went on several Korean dates that ended with them wanting to hook up and me saying no, so they said deuces. If that's considered dating, then yes, I've dated many. But yeah. I've only had one successful relationship in Korea. Nia G, would you get a Namjoon related tattoo? Hell no. Look, I am a huge fan of BTS and I really like Namjoon, but I'm not putting anything permanent on my body that's about anyone outside of my family. Guys come and go, especially not even a guy I'm with. I'm sorry. Maybe something that's a little more abstracty to like the overall, like the love yourself visuals and arts. Those symbols were really cute. That's something that's like tattoo worthy. But for me, I would never look, all right, like, no. I'm good. Because then I got to explain that to people. Hey, what's RM? What's NJ? What's Namjoon? Well, when I was in my 20s, there was this Korean rapper I really liked. And be like, that's stupid. No, I'm not. I couldn't do that. Joy Evergen, have you listened to Inception by ATEEZ? Yeah, I did last night. See, I knew this would come in handy. I didn't really like it too much, but I listened to it, so if people ask, I can say yes or no. Yes, I did listen to it. Um, Matica Gasca hookup. Yeah, hookup basically means like sex only. It's kind of like friends with benefits or a one night stand. And I hope you're of age and I'm not being a creep right now. A hookup is sex, basically. And that's what a lot of Koreans look at foreigners and go, ooh, hookup. Uh. So, no. Um, Wait, what? Toby, you made the girl who copied Jungkook's tattoos? Wait, somebody copied that? See, that actually is kind of cute though, because like I said, something that's a little more like abstracty to the whole group is okay. Because like, however something impacts you personally, that's fine. Like that's something you could explain for life and memorialize on yourself. But like, if I got a Namjoon tattoo, like, but like the army, the thing that is the cutest idea. The fact that the army actually represents like the members. What is it like? The A is a V because of the member V. Also, the RM. The Y is Yoongi, Min Yoongi, Suga, and then he put the J at the top because of Jin Jungkook and J Hope. That's a cute tattoo. That's something that like includes everything together, the fandom and the members. So that I could understand. But I would never get like Namjoon or Namjoon's girl or RM fan. Like I couldn't do anything like that. Oh boy. um It's Georgie. Did you listen to Jungkook's 10,000 Hours cover yet? No, I don't think I have. Uh, they stay dropping music, man. It's hard to keep up. Like I remember after the chat, I had to go and listen to Stay Gold, and I had to go and listen to Stay With You or Still With You because I didn't know these songs were out there. So yeah, no, I haven't heard this one yet either. Now I got some homework. I will listen to 10,000 Hours. His voice, man. Jungkook's voice is by far my favorite in the group. Well, singing, because rapping, obviously, I like Namjoon's voice, but singing, oh, he's amazing. Bafrin Majid, do you know any good diet? I'm about to lose weight. I couldn't help you there. I honestly, though, I will say a lot of people that I knew went to Korea and lost weight just by the extra walking, having to climb stairs when there wasn't an escalator, the healthier Korean food. So maybe if you eat more Korean food, you'll start to lose weight because it's crazy. Oh man. Self-taught. Did you witness people being shamed for their weight? Um, Not so much shamed, but teased. Teased a lot. Like they try to make it playful. Like, oh, your face is gaining weight, you're getting fat. Your face is more round. Oh, your jeans look tighter. Things like that. And even like normalizing it. Like even when I watch like variety shows, like Running Man, and they had to do like a water type of game, and maybe they're wearing a t-shirt, they would poke fun, like, I can see your gut, and you're like, stop it. Stuff like that. But nobody's like, ew, you fat cow, or shame indirectly like that. They kind of joke about it, like, your shirts, I can see your gut. It's not blunt or covered up either. Like, if my face looked even the slightest bit pouty, my kids, teacher, are you gaining weight? Just so casually, as casually as they was asking, did you sleep well? Teacher, you gaining weight? You don't do that. What? A girl with a phone. Have you heard of K music and Black women? Let's all collectively facepalm right now. Yes, unfortunately, I've heard of them. I don't watch them or support them because they really make Black girls look like we're the thirstiest, most desperate attention-seeking people. Like, I saw one video where the girl said, or whoever runs the channel, said, I think it was Got7 meet and greet or something, and JB looked in the direction of a Black girl, and they're like, he's ready to risk it all for her. I'm like, or he just looked left. Like, stop reaching. You're reaching. This is you reaching. I can't with that channel. Is it still around? Because this video I saw had to be back in like 2016, I think. Is this still an active channel? Because if so, that's depressing. Oh man. Yasmin Layla Muhammad, want to help your girl out and drop your skincare routine. I did. I dropped several. I posted that my latest video, I think Sunday, last weekend. Not too many people watched it, but it's there. I did the whole 10-step Korean beauty skincare routine. I made a video about it. Yeah. Maya22, any advice for people going to Korea who don't speak Korean? I always say, I don't think you need to speak Korean necessarily, but at least learn to read Hangul. Because when you need to approach a Korean person, which is like their fear, they're like, please don't speak to me. If you can read to them what you need to know in Hangul, or like a place you want to go in Hangul, because if you're like, Itaewon, they'd be like, but if you say, Itaewon, they'd be like, oh, okay. So I would say at least learn how to read it. Read Hangul, which is very easy, as a lot of people said in the chat. And maybe try to, some greetings, 안녕하세요, 화장실 어디예요? Just something, learn simple questions are really easy in Korean. If you need to ask where the bathroom is, just 어디예요? You add at the end of the sentence. So like 화장실 is bathroom. I use that sentence a lot. So 화장실, bathroom, 어디예요? And they just point you to the direction. So it's nice. Especially when you're in a taxi driving situation too, and they say like 어디에서 왔어요? And you 강남역? And you can say Gangnam Station. So just at least know how to read it. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. Eva D, did Korea make you learn not to waste your time on a man? I knew that before Korea. I hope this isn't like too much information, but I've seen, it's not like Korea is the only place where men are garbage. No offense, not all men are like that, but I had my first experience of that in the States, like naturally. I was, a virgin until I was 22. So I'm very used to guys acting all interested and then finding out I'm not going to sleep with them. They're like, okay, bye. So I learned that before Korea. Well before Korea. I learned that in college. Toby, you may. Any tips for improving your vocabulary? Memrise. Dude, Memrise is by far my favorite app for vocabulary because, and it's not even just Korean. If you want to learn Japanese, German, I don't know if they have Italian, Spanish, what are some other languages in the world? Russian. Like they have a ton of languages. All you got to do, sometimes, it's better if you pay. I've never paid for it, but they have like, you can choose your curriculum. That's what it's like labeled as. They have like Korea 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it goes from easy to hard. And they even get into more complex sentences. They play it back so you have to hear the word and then choose the right answer. So you have to spell out the word and then it's the right answer. They have it like, they drill it into your head until you don't get it wrong anymore. It's amazing. It's really, really good. Memrise is dope. They should sponsor me too. Miyaji, favorite Japanese food? I like udon noodles, I think. I think udon. I also love sushi though, but I feel like that's so basic. But I just love seafood, man. Yeah. A girl with a phone. What do you think about Nikki pregnancy? I think congratulations. I mean, she's in her mid to late 30s, finally having a baby. I feel like we knew already though, because when she promoted that song with that other clown, Takashi, she posted this picture of her sitting down. You could see her belly bulging forward. So I personally knew before she made the announcement, but I'm happy. I wish it wasn't with that dude. I forgot his name. Something petty. But yeah. Michelle H, what's your opinion on plastic surgery addiction? On Korea's plastic surgery addiction? I think it's really sad. And I think the fact that like even parents, like when your kids graduate from college, you give them double eyelid surgery as a present. I wish my mom would say, hey, Let me get you that boob job that you need to be successful in life. Like what? I embrace my no chest. Like I wish people would their own natural traits. Like for me personally, I think monolids are adorable. But Koreans, not all, but a lot of them strive for a double eyelid because it makes their eye look bigger and they think that makes them look more attractive. So I think it's sad. Like I said, even on job applications, you have to put your picture on your application. And a lot of people favor the attractive applicants who meet the same qualifications as someone who's less attractive. So they're addicted to it. And it's unfortunate, but yeah. That song is really in my head. A Girl with a Phone. Have you heard about Lovely Peaches? Briefly, because I'm in the one of their One Nation victim group chats, and they've been talking about this girl. But from what I understand, she's like an abusive TikToker, or like she's very destructive, talking about selling her baby or something. Or I don't freaking know. I've heard the name. I don't follow her. I'm not even on TikTok. I don't know. To me, it's see Korean barbecue or American barbecue. Hanguk Hanguk barbecue. Korean barbecue, I think, is way better. I mean, I enjoy burgers and stuff like American barbecue, but it's all greasy and I don't know. What I like about Korean barbecue. I love the lettuce wraps and like it's like building your own thing. Not only you got your lettuce, you put your garlic in it, your onion. Oh God, I want some Korean barbecue so bad. Oh, this is depressing. I haven't had Korean barbecue since March, and tomorrow is August. This is literally the longest I've gone without having Korean barbecue since I first had Korean barbecue. Oh man. Ew. Wait, why are we talking about lovely peaches now? Ew. Okay. Emily Yolo, unrelated question. What do you think of black men bring down black women by uplifting other women? It's it is funny because every huh. I'm trying to think of my words here. This is live, so I can't edit something stupid out. Um, Whenever I make videos talking about this, black guys are like some of the first people in the comments, like, oh, y'all gonna blame this on us too, huh? Like, I didn't even directly feel the need to talk about this until I made my interracial dating video last summer, and a lot of black dudes were coming at me telling me I'm a sellout and I'm wasting my time not being with a brother. Like, I've never dated black guys before because I have. And then there were people in the same comments saying, we don't like black women anyway. Y'all hair fake, y'all ghetto, y'all this. I'm like, thank you, fellow black person. That's great. That's gonna work well. So when I made the video about that YouTuber Jun Lee and how I said I personally don't care if Koreans don't find black women attractive. I don't care. Like, and I said most black women don't actually find Korean men attractive. Like statistically, black women are like the least likely to date outside of our race, whereas black men are way more likely to do that. And again, I'm not judging. My dad has had like a black wife, black girlfriends, white girlfriends, Spanish girlfriends. I've seen it all, so I'm not trying to judge or anything. But yeah, it's one thing that differs is it seems like it's a common thing for black dudes to be like, I prefer white women because black women do this, or I prefer Hispanic women because black women do that. Like in the same breath to have something so negative to say when, you have black sisters, literal sisters and siblings and moms and aunts. It's just like, why? Because like half of the time when we're talking about how we find Korean men attractive, we're not saying, I like Korean men because black guys do this or because black guys have this. Like we don't do that as much as it seems like black guys do that. So that's like my only grievance. I don't care about people's dating preferences. It's just there's no need to speak negatively about what you don't like too, because that's not productive. You know what I mean? So I don't really care. Like that's why I got to choose these words carefully because it is very easy to offend people. YouTube taught me that for sure. Like people ask, why do you prefer Korean men? I never said I prefer Korean men. I was in Korea. Like, of course I'm gonna date Korean dudes while I'm in Korea. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Yeah, I feel like my voice is going a little bit. Can y'all hear me clearly? Because I feel like it's waning a little bit. Nia G, I comment on that video and black men were arguing with me too. Yeah. So then when I made the video, like, can we talk about, and I did a little rant about interracial dating. Again, like an update, like, why do black guys stay coming for black women in a negative way? Like, black women in their weaves, black women ghetto, they got 30 kids, they on welfare. What? And then even as recent, I remember I followed the Shade Room on Instagram, and 50 Cent was just doing some dumb podcast saying why he likes exotic women. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Like, oh boy, it's ridiculous. Bangtan AT's trash. What was it like traveling alone? I never traveled alone. I went to Korea by myself, but literally once I got to to China, like for my layover, I actually met up another girl in the talk program who was on the same flight as me. So we stuck together at the airport, and then once we landed in Busan, we went to our dorm rooms and were met with other people. So I never traveled alone. I'm not a solo traveler. I fully embrace that reality. What's your favorite horror movie? Yasmin Layla Muhammad. That's tough. Oh, giggity. I like this Korean movie called Gonjiam. It's really good. As far as like Western or like American horror movies, I like movies that are subtle. Like Paranormal Activity started to get really bad, but I think Paranormal Activity 3 is one of my favorites. I like subtle stuff. Like I like when it's quiet and you're just watching the screen and you're like, oh, did you see that? That gives me goosebumps. That's the type of fear I like. I don't like da 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 and then a killer with a knife. That's corny. So subtle paranormal type of horror like that. So I'd say like Gonjiam, Paranormal Activity 3 are probably some of my favorite scary movies. I also really liked Insidious, the first one, not the second one. Oh yeah, The Conjuring is Georgie. The Conjuring is pretty good too. I didn't like the sequel so much to The Conjuring, but I'm looking forward to Insidious to The Conjuring Part 3. I didn't like the Annabelle movies, like none of them. Yeah. Okay, somebody Matika Gaska giggity giggity goo she caught the giggity. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. Yes, I think today I'll go for 2 hours and 13 minutes because I actually still need to eat something and I'm out of water and my voice is waning a little bit. So I'm gonna go until 2 hours and 30 minutes. So we still got a good 20-ish minutes together. So yay! Christy Hollow, was Annabelle movie scary? No, I didn't find it scary, but I did find it entertaining because I went to see, I think, Annabelle 2 in the theaters in Korea. And the jump scares don't get me because, like, it builds up to it. It's the music always tells you when a jump scare is about to happen. And it was funny seeing Koreans, oh, kapchaki, like, they got scared, like, every time. It was so cute. I'm like, y'all, that scared y'all? What? And it was funny because I went and me and my friend booked our ticket to the movie late. So the only seat left was like a love seat where in Korea they have some theaters. It's like a booth sort of, and it's like two seats together and it's shaped like a heart. So me and my girl were like, we're girlfriends now, yay. So that was fun. But yeah, that was like one of the scary movies I saw in Korea. It was funny seeing people react, but yeah. Toby, you may do a mukbang. I did one before with Lana Summer back in the day. This was like early 2018 to early 2019. We did a mukbang. Well, it wasn't even supposed to be one. She just wanted to eat something that was vegetarian friendly, and I wanted some budae. Yeah. And we liked the lighting, and we were staying for a while. I was like, why don't we just film us talking? And we're like, yeah, let's go for it. So I did film a mukbang, but it didn't do so well. So, yeah. Self-taught. What did your Korean friends think about K-pop? I mean, they like it, but like, I noticed the enthusiasm amongst Korean guys for Korean girl groups is overwhelming. They love their Twice and their "Shut Up Baby, Shut Up Baby." They, oh my god, they go ape shit for Korean pop girl groups and stuff. As far as Korean girls, I mean, I think they like the girl groups too and stuff. I noticed Daniel is very, very popular among Korean girls. And I actually really like his new song too. And I forgot what it's called. I listened to it last night and I forgot what it's called. What is Daniel's new song name or called? I think it just came out last week, but it's really good. I forgot what it's called though. Somebody help me, please. So I just say, oh, Musin. Oh, okay. I can't remember the name of that song. Hold on. I'm gonna have to. Thank you, Angel Oriwi. Oh God, I'm sorry. Owidiwa Waves. Daniel's new song called Waves. I love that song. I was like, okay, I'm waving. I love that song. Yeah. Would you ever, Yasmin Layla Muhammad, would you ever come to South Africa? I absolutely 1 billion% plan to. Abso-freaking-lutely. Oh my gosh. One day when I have the funds, when there's not a pandemic, when I have the time and means to go, I've been planning to go there since 2010 when I spent days Googling or exploring on Google Maps and dropping a little icon person. And I was like, look, I'm in South Africa. I'm so corny. But yeah, the Daniel song is called Waves. I love that song. To You is also good. I like that song. But I actually really vibe with a lot of Daniel's solo music. I didn't really get too into 101. I didn't really get too into them per se, but I like his solo stuff a lot. Waves, that is a whole bop. Or as the kids say, it slaps. I remember the first time I heard that word to mean like it's good. It was like April of 2019, last summer. Me and my sister were meeting up for my birthday. And we did the BTS Boy With Love reaction video. And she's like, oh my God, it slaps. I was like, slaps? My little sister had to teach me what that meant. So yeah, I was like, I don't know if that's going to catch on. And here we are. Everybody's like, dude, it slaps. Oh my God, it slaps. I'm like, okay, slaps it is. Eva D, do you like the song Maria? If you mean by Huasa, say her name. If you mean Maria by Huasa, then yes, I love that song. I've used it as the background for most of my recent videos. Maria. I love her. I love her energy. I love her I don't care attitude. I love her vocals, her style. I love it. And I also really like how even during, the Black Lives Matter stuff, she's been pretty vocal about supporting it and on her social media and stuff. Not too many Korean artists have done that. So I love her. She's a whole mood. Maria. Period. I love the T's at the end of period. Oh man. Angel Girl, you should go. You won't regret it. South Africa is slept on. I agree. I do remember, though, I was warned by several teachers that I were from South Africa who I met teaching in Korea. They said, avoid these neighborhoods, be careful, don't fall for this. And I was like, okay, there's like a whole checklist of stuff they were trying to tell me to watch out for. But honestly, it's like that in America too. America's not very, very safe. So, it is what it is. Now Maria's gonna be stuck in my head. Toby Yume, what do you think of ITZY? I don't really like them too much. I don't hate them or anything. It's just I've never been a fan of the overly bubbly sounding type of K-pop stuff. Like I've always vibed a lot more with R&B and hip hop style K-pop or K-R&B, whatever you want to call it. I think that's why I liked Sistar so much back in the day before they disbanded. Like songs like Alone and I Like It. I like those types of songs. I like the R&B vibes. So I'm not really too into ITZY. And that's why there are only like a few Twice songs I like. I don't like I don't know. I don't like the overly cutesy Eggyo, bright colors, summertime, opaya. I don't really like that stuff. That's just me though. Tomo, what about 21? Nega che chalaga. Nega che chalaga. Bambara ta 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 ta. I like 21. Honestly, it's unfortunate because I didn't really know of them until right around when they disbanded, or people started taking breaks from the group, which eventually led to their disbandment. But I vibe with them. Like those are like that's why I think I kind of like some of Blackpink stuff. Which is, I mean, Whistle is probably still my favorite Blackpink song. I like do 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 do, which is why I'm a little disappointed by the EDM type of stuff that they're doing now. How you like that? Da 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 da. I'm like, okay, I don't like it that much, but. And then please don't let the song be stuck in my head now. I need to get another song stuck in my head. Oh my gosh. But yeah, 21 was good. I'm a huge fan of CL. I'm really disappointed with how things have panned out with her career. She wasn't really promoted well, and I know she left YG, and I think now she's with Psy's label. And she did put out music earlier this year or late last year that I actually really liked, but it didn't really track well or gain traction that I would have hoped or expected for her, but it's really unfortunate. Talia, it's 1 a.m. Oh no. Oh, that's like that Taeyang song. Saebyeok Hanshia. Wait, are you going to sleep now? Yeah, I think, all right, I'm going to cut the stream in 9 more minutes. I hear my stomach gurgling. And it's probably getting late for people. Michelle H., have you listened to Dean's Instagram? Munje, dude, Dean, is that a question? Is that really I love Dean. I am waiting for him to release some new magic. I see he keeps teasing us on his Instagram. I love Dean. I used to use a lot of his instrumentals in the background of my music, even though it always got copyrighted. But I was like, this song is just perfect for this vlog, so forget it. I'm just going to not monetize this video. Man, I love Dean. I love, 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 love him. Instagram. Aishana too. Did Korea make you more impatient? I'm an Aries. I don't know if it's any possible for me to be any more impatient. If anything, I think it helped teach me how to be patient because there were some kids who grasped things immediately and there were some kids who really needed help. So I had to slow things down, sit down with them and be like, okay, here, you do this because this has to go here. So I think if anything, Korea made me a little more patient, which if you see how impatient I still am, that goes to show you how impatient I used to be. So yeah. Aladdin, do you listen to Shiny? Again, not really. It's like I know that they're one of like the major groups, and I only know 2 Shiny songs because most of it I was just like, what? I don't want to hear the rest of this song. I know Ling Ding Dong Ling Ding Dong, and I know their song Normal Autumn Down 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 View. That's it. I do like Key's solo music a lot. He has this song with Crush called Just One of Those Nights that is amazing. He has a song called Wannabe. I wanna be. I love that song. But as far as their overall stuff, Toby Yume, I just know Taemin's move. The only reason I know that song is because the choreography creeped me out. The move. I was like, am I allowed to watch this? So I don't really know too much of their music, but I do know that song because of that music video and that choreography. Speaking of choreography, for those who are still left in the chat, I mentioned this on Instagram yesterday, because yesterday we hit 45,000 subscribers. Oh my God. So I'm going to put myself to a little challenge because in the past month, I gained 5,000 new subscribers. So if in the month of August, if by the time August is over and we get to 50K, I am going to do a K-pop cover and upload it on my channel. And I think if as we get closer to the goal, if it actually happens, because realistically it probably won't, but if it does look like it's starting to happen, then I'll put like a poll for songs that y'all want me to try to learn. I'm down to do any choreo as long as it's not like overly cutesy, because that's not really me. But if I don't know why I'm sorry, I don't know why I do this British thing. It used to be worse. I used to do it with Stewie's voice all the time. It's like, what the deuce? I got issues. But yeah, so if my channel can get to 50,000 subscribers before September 1st, I will upload a K-pop dance cover on my channel, and I'll let you guys vote on the song that I learned. You guys have never seen me dance before, and I got moves, yo. So we'll see if this happens or not. It's funny because the British thing that I do kind of got me in an awkward situation, because if you guys know Lana Summer, she's British, and when I was talking to her, I would do my thing. I just dipped off into it, and then she was like, "Are you mocking me?" I was like, "No, I'm sorry. I swear I'm not. I just do that randomly. I don't know why." So yeah, that was fun. I see people are already suggesting songs. I'm not gonna lie, it's highly unlikely that this channel will get to 50,000 in a month, but if it does, I will upload a K-pop dance choreo. Nia Watson, favorite BTS choreo. Oh, that's hard. Blood, Sweat, Tears comes to mind though. I loved that choreography so much. Money, money, money. Oh man. But all of their choreography is really, really good. And like they have a lot more fun ones. Like they call me Betsy, Yukwaji, Isete, Bali, woo, chasing. So they have like their hard hitting choreography. They have their fun stuff. They have their sexy stuff. So I think when it comes to my favorite choreo, though, I love Monster X's choreography all the time. They always go hard. I'm just like trying to watch and keep up. I love GOT7 stuff. A little less than I like BTS and GOT7's choreography, but yeah. Oh yeah, Go Go. That's a good one too. Their choreography, seeing them do the backpack kid dance, I was like, they did not just do that. It's always fun to see like Western dance trends get incorporated into K-pop. Like I remember the shoot was going around for forever and it's still making its rounds. But I think I was watching ATEEZ's video for Inception last night and they did the thing from, I was like, they just, because I was wondering, I was like, what is going to be like the next viral dance that people do in Korea or copy in Korea? And it's like I swing it and swing it out. But I don't have TikTok, so all I see is like what people upload on Instagram. But yeah, I thought that was really dope. Betsy is fire. I'm shaking my bed and shaking my laptop. Fire was another good one. Oh man. Tomo, what's your go-to Norebang song? I pretty much sing any Linkin Park song, any Eminem song. I really like to do Blood, Sweat, Tears in in karaoke. And I like Save Me. Cause on the name, it'll just save me, save me. I need your love before I fall. Cause on the name, it'll just save me, save me. I need your love before. I love doing that song in choreography and karaoke. Freaking brain. Okay. Oh yeah, Black Swan. Oh my God, I love that choreography too. I don't really know it that well, but I just yeah. Oh God. I feel like such a dork right now. I need to relax. But I love music, man. Lanesia Coops. Coots, name a choreo by BTS that's bad. I'll wait. Yeah, it's not really possible. I really like Not Today too. That choreography is, I feel like people don't talk about that one as much. Man, that choreo was everything. Not today. That say we got our hands up. Chingu, we got our hands up. Oh my God. I love watching them dance, just period. I think that's why I admire dancers so much. Like I've said this several times. My next boyfriend is going to have to be a dancer because I constantly find myself in positions dating guys who can't dance. And then I'm sad when we go out. They're like, hey, you do you, or they're like trying. I'm like, oh no. Or like they resort to the same little two-step or the same just sitting on the wall, just swaying. Like, no, that's not dancing. Like we need to actually face off and battle and dance. Oh my God. So it has been, okay, you know what? I will go for 2 hours and 45 minutes because I'm having fun. I can't really speak and I'm hungry. But okay, we'll go for 2 hours and 45 minutes because this is, we've reinvigorated the conversation a little bit. SV Shimmer Shimmer, in your vlog, you saw Minho sing Body. What was that like? Dude, that was a nightmare because it wasn't announced. It was Halloween and it was already packed in Sumini's club Gabia, which is now defunct, I believe. But we were actually trying to get away from some creepy dude who was just getting closer and was just like, you want a drink? And we're like, no, thanks. You want a drink? No, thanks. He kept trying to. So we kept moving further away from him, which just so happened to be us moving further or closer to the stage. Like we're just like trying to get away from him. And next thing you know, my friend Carolina, she's like, who is that? We see some, Minho must have been drunk. We see some dude just leaning on the banister, being all dramatic, just looking out at everybody like, just being all extra. We're like, who is that? Then suddenly just the music cuts off and shoot a spotlight. And we're like, everybody's like, it's Minho, like freaking out, like, what? And we're like, who? Honestly, I didn't recognize him until I heard the doom. I was like, oh, that's Mom. Oh, that's Minho. Like, it took me a minute. But then he started just going, and I was like, he's drunk as hell. But what was messed up is there was this girl behind my friend Haiti. She had her phone in her pop socket or whatever, just trying to get film of this dude, and her rings and her pop socket was getting caught in my friend's hair, and she did not try to get it untangled. She just kept yanking my friend's head to try and get closer. And Haiti is feisty. She will fight you, but she's not trying to get deported. So she's like, if this bitch don't fix this situation, she was about to go off. And the girl's boyfriend had to apologize on her behalf, like, oh, we're sorry. That was crazy. So it was madness. He performed like 3 songs. And I think right after that is when I decided to leave because it was getting late. It was really late. And it was rainy and it was getting cold. But yeah, it was madness that night. But he was definitely drunk. He was a mess. Oh, man. Wendy Darling, damn, still alive? I know, right? 2 hours and 32 minutes. I'm still going in. Shall we dance? Burner. Shall we dance? I think that's actually the only Block B song that I like. Yeah, we're talking about dancing, so that song popped in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was like, well, this will help kids learn how to count in Korean at least, or in English. Toby Yumi, not the 2-step, but I know, right? I can't stand going to the club and the dude that just, like, yeah, you on beat, but you just 2-stepping. Like, I need to see you, like, feeling it. You know what I mean? My next boyfriend will absolutely have to be a dancer. You got to dance. I'm sorry. To me, it's see Dunkin' or Starbucks. Well, I don't really drink coffee too much. Like I can't process caffeine well. If I already don't sleep without coffee, if I drink coffee, I will be up for like 48 hours straight. It's almost happened like that before, so I don't really do coffee. So I like donuts, so I guess I'll go with Dunkin'. Yeah, but I'm assuming since you mentioned Starbucks, you're talking about the coffee, which I don't really drink coffee. So Bun me Oladell. That's why J Hope my bias. Yeah, he be moving, yo. He puts 150% into every basic little step, and I can really appreciate that. Like I remember how excited I was when he finally did the In My Feelings challenge. I was like, look at you. He was all, oh god, he's a cutie. Do you love me? Are you riding? So you'll never be from beside me. Uh, Miss Dunkin' Donuts. I love black coffee. Yeah, I can't drink coffee. I'm sorry, man. I like tea. I love tea. I love some nokcha, which is green tea. Um, Actually, I think that's my favorite. I like jasmine tea. I like tea. I don't do coffee. I would. The worst memory I have from drinking coffee was actually at a Dunkin' Donuts. It was the Dunkin' Donuts across from the old JYP building. Like the famous small, the big JYP letters across the building. And we were sitting in Dunkin' just hoping to see somebody. We're like, maybe got seven, maybe JB gonna walk out. So we sat there going through donuts and coffee, and we did end up seeing somebody get into a van, and everybody was excited. I didn't know who he was, so I was like, "You're not JB." And like I said, we did see two Twice members. But later that night, we went clubbing. So I finished like 2 coffees. Plus, we went clubbing, so I had soju and lemon drops, and we finished clubbing at like 5 a.m., went back to our guest house, and I didn't sleep. I laid there playing games on my phone, watching YouTube videos. My friends started to wake up around like noon. And I was like, so what are we doing today? They're like, we're going back to sleep. What are you talking about? I was like, what? I was like, I was waiting for y'all to wake up though. Like, I can't have coffee because I don't sleep. It's not safe. Oh man. Wait, I saw someone ask, do I like EXO? I don't know where it went. But yes, I do like them. I'm late to the party. After I saw the choreography for that song, The Eve, I was officially a fan. An XOL, I think is the fan name. Yeah, I yo, let me relax. But after I saw that choreography, I became quite the fan of EXO. And I've always liked Chanyeol before I even realized it, because he was on this song with Tinashe and Far East Movement called For Real Love. And I did not realize that was him. And I was like, this rap verse goes in a little bit. And later found out that was EXO or Chanyeol from EXO. So, and I also love that song he did for the Dokebi soundtrack, Stay With Me. 나의 두 눈을 감으면 떠오르는 그날 동작 자꾸 가슴이 시려서 let me stop. But that's another karaoke song I like, but I can never find someone to duet with me and do the guy part. So it's not as fun when I'm the guy and the girl in the song. But yeah, Chanyeol made me more of an EXO fan, I think. Don't mess up my tempo. Jeffrey Lewad, I am tripping right now. Don't mess up my tempo. But that song Love Shot, that choreography, I was looking at Kai like, why are you doing this? Like, and I was right around the time, it came out that him and Jenny were dating. So my students were heartbroken. They're like, teacher Kai and Jenny are together. I'm like, that's good, right? They're like, no, I want Kai. I'm like, you're 10, sweetie, you're 10. Oh my God. Oh, my kids are funny. Oh boy. Nia G, do you have Twitter? I already follow your Instagram. I do, but I'm not really much of a tweeter. I only vent about my Trump frustrations every now and then. I don't have a lot going on. I think I only have like 400 followers on Twitter. I don't tweet much, but it's there. It's CC_lesson3 because my dumbass forgot my password to my original CC Lesson 3 account, and that email I use with that is no longer in use. So that account is just gone. So I had to add an underscore to my own name. Yeah, my memory. Nia G, you seem hype. What sugar you have? It's funny because I haven't eaten yet today. Maybe that's why I'm getting delirious. Maybe that's what's happening right now. I've had water. That's all I had today. I woke up, laid in bed for a few hours, watched some depressing news about Trump trying to postpone the election, watched some depressing stats about coronavirus. Then I showered and started streaming. So, yeah, I actually haven't eaten yet. Maybe I'm actually a little more hyped too because I know after this is done, I don't have to film another video or edit because I did it yesterday, so I can just relax. So maybe I feel like, yeah, I'll maybe play Sims, but I also want to look into making these badges and emojis and stuff because I got some Namjoon or idol ideas in my head. So I'll see if I can actually make them because I'm not all that artistic, but we'll see how they turn out. Aisaro Jello favorite got 7 song. Ooh, I think if you do. 네가 하면 밤만도 말이 돼. 네가 하면 난 이기지 못한대. That has been my go-to. That was the first song that made me realize these boys got vocals. And again, the R&B vibes. Love it, love it, love it. So I think If You Do is probably my favorite Got 7 song still. 넌 내가 하면 넌 내가 하면 넌 말만 하면 넌 내기 헤어져. Love that song so much. 갖지 못하게 더 사랑하지 못하리 해. Oh, oh. Bun me Olade. Oladell. I'm sorry, I told you I can't read. Favorite Monster X song. That's tough. I guess the first song that pops in my head is Shine Forever. Shine Forever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I also really like that song, Underwater. Not gonna draw. I'm underwater. Kihyun's vocals, man. Dude, his vocal, like when I first found out about Monster X, my favorite 2 members were Shonu and Wano. And then hearing more of the music and seeing how much line distribution poor Kihyun has to like sing all the time, he became one of my favorites. His vocals, he had in this song called Lost in a Dream, this note he hits. Dude, I love Kihyun. And he just joined Instagram for his, I'm so excited, but yeah. Oh man. Not gonna draw. I'm underwater. Mm-hmm. Who do you love? Is it him or me? Alex Hall. That's a good one too. That was when Juhan said, hold my microphone. I can sing too. Oh my gosh. He was giving me such Michael, who do you love? I love Juhan. He's a really good singer too. That was amazing. In the heat of the moment, when you're alone and out of breath, it's keeping you going. Yo, seeing how much line distribution he had as a singer in that song, I'm just like, he's trying to steal Kihyun's job as the main vocalist. I was very, very impressed. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was crazy. Oh yeah, Beautiful's a good one. That choreography, the little dance break that they do. I love watching them dance, man. That was actually the song that stood out to me the most because when I was finally settled in Jeju and teaching for a month, and I was finally gonna have some time to play in Seoul with my friends after we all had our month of teaching. So we were like, let's have a mini reunion this weekend at Thursday party in Hongdae. So I'm on the plane, I'm seeing the Seoul skyline for the first time, and I'm listening to Beautiful because the song had just come out. No, I was like, this is getting real. I was so excited. I was like, I see the Seoul lights. I see Lotte Tower, which was like had just opened up around then. That's pretty dope. Pretty dope. Oh man. Aishiana too. You should know Weverse and V Live for BTS. There's a ton of content. Yeah. Yeah, I've considered joining Vila so I can sit there and watch them, but oops, I need to eat. Oh, but yeah, I feel like I had it for a brief moment, but because the language barrier and stuff, I was like, I don't think this is gonna be all that fun for me, and then I just uninstalled it. I never thought about Weavers though. I don't know about Weavus, but maybe I'll consider it one day. But I'm already distracted on my phone enough as it is, and to be like watching people live talk like like y'all right now. But like every day or every other day, I wouldn't ever be productive in my life anymore. I'd be like, I should be editing, but now I'm just going live right now. So I don't think it's a good idea for me as far as being a productive or as being as productive as possible. All right, so we have made it to 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm absolutely starving. I need to drink because this ran out. And yeah, I'm gonna go eat something. So thank you guys for talking with me for 2.5 hours, over 2.5 hours. And this is the first full chat with moderators. I hope things went well because somebody messaged me on Instagram saying they were putting time out after what were we talking about? I think I said that what's her name? Doja Cat was black or something, so it was okay for her to say the N word, but because being biracial, most people identify as being black when they're half black. And she said the same thing, but was put in time out, so she was sad. So I think you guys did well today, and I'm really grateful to have so many people looking out. I didn't notice too much like spam or people saying the same stuff or too much inappropriate stuff. So thank you. Oh, my Instagram. I gotta drop my Instagram. My Instagram is CC less than 3. If you guys want to DM me there or follow me there or talk to me there, because people message me and they're like, "Oh my god, you actually replied." I'm like, "Well, duh, yeah." So I'm gonna end this now because I'm delusional. I need to eat. So thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Annyeong.